Cause you know, Oh, let me, wait, you know what? See, this is my favorite part. They're all muted. You can't hear all their bullshit. All you can hear is me, and it's wonderful. Well, now you can hear their bullshit as I
Oh, shit.
unmute them. Hey, everybody, we're back. We took a break after our 50th episode, and we are back for our 51st episode. We will be doing a recap here in a bit. However, just a quick, let me fix this real quick. There we go. In a bit, but first, everything you need to know about us is down below at the TTRPG Academy, where we teach, learn, play, and, well, just hang out and chat. And evidently, our tavern chat's been getting a little busy lately. Lots of silly shit going on there. We have some one-shots coming up. I've got my one-shot coming up for next Thursday. I should be posting that event either tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow, so that gives at least people a solid week to prepare. It looks like it will be another level 10 Monster Hunt adventure.
Oh, that's always fun.
And then in 2 weeks after that, we will have a level 15 Monster Hunt adventure. So that should be interesting as well.
Ian's got a level 10, it's a ruins crawl tomorrow.
Yeah, he's doing a very, very kind of traditional, I would still call it dungeon crawl style mechanics, but he's doing a one shot in the 5e for all one. So that should be interesting. I can't wait to kind of get an idea of that one. So I think we'll have 2 games playing tomorrow. We have the Descendants potentially play. Well, no, I think the Descendants might be on their 2-week break. We took last week off, and I think we're also taking this week off because 2 of our players are in Helsinki for their end of summer vacation, Teresa and Colin. So I don't know. I may just do a repeat event for Descendants tomorrow. That way I can listen in and goof on the one shot and make fun of my wonderful partner in crime there as she struggles to be a paladin. Because, you know, paladins are easy. You just hold the staples button and go easy. And you win D&D every time you play a paladin. I'm almost positive. Unless you're Sigurd. Then you just die.
Unless you're me, then
come back
you
as
drop every
Oswald.
combat.
And then you come back as Oswald, the weird, ghoulish human, who then makes a pact with the Stormlord, who puts a Kraken essence in your chest, and you get reincarnated as a halfling, grumpy halfling with kind of, visionary eyes. I don't know. I actually
told you it wasn't me.
Yeah,
I told you it wasn't me.
I actually don't know how
resurrection.
I don't know how any of this works. I mostly make this up on the fly. I haven't written a single thing down either beforehand or after. I rely on everybody's random commentary to get me through the evening. And well, hi everybody. Happy Tuesday. Mars just like, there's so many funnier stories than you, Jason, but you're doing okay. And I've been working on a lot of technical challenges as well. I've learned a lot over the last 3 or 4 weeks when I was playing with new types of overlays and doing some other stuff. And I've now gone back to simple and kind of symmetrical overlays. I've also learned a lot about some of the Discord technicalities I wasn't aware of. So a lot of my old latency problems should be permanently gone. A lot of my technical challenges should be pretty much gone. And I believe I've resolved a lot of the kind of nuanced audio issues that were going on. But hey, if you want to join our Discord, it is down below. Feel free to join. We give away miniatures and dice every week in an effort to support all of our dice goblins and either practicing dungeon masters or continuing or newly found storytellers As you know, you need minis, you need dice. We're also doing a special end of summer giveaway for a player's bundle with the D&D Beyond, where you can win a redeemable code worth $100, and you can have access to the digital player's bundle within D&D Beyond. So if you're a forever player and you want to get in on that, jump into our Discord, roll D1000, and try to win. It's kind of cool. That we're only doing as a summer special to say bye to summer. You know, you'll notice that Samara and Mara have grumpy faces because they're back to work. Summer's over for them. I'm still on my 16-month hiatus, and I have no idea when it's going to end, but I'm certainly trying, and I am emotionally spent as I'm having very difficult conversations with people that have no idea what they're doing. So I could definitely commiserate with Mara and Samara on that one. So with that, everybody, welcome to Tuesday Night to Denizens and their Masters. For some of our newer folks, if you don't know this campaign, this is campaign that takes place in Wildmont 20 years before Season 2, 20 years after Season 1. There's some conjecture on the timeline, but I've purposely left it somewhat open. Some of the characters from Wildmont are in this one. I personally love the gentleman. I love to use him as an NPC. I've even included a little bit of the Traveler in this one as well. Basically, our team, the Storm Chasers, have come about in an effort to, well, they've become accidental adventurers for the most part. Most of them were kind of going through their normal lives with a relative kind of simplicity of predictability. However, circumstances kind of took over when they inadvertently opened up the Stormlord's Vault and sent them on this path. They recently paid the debt that was owed, managed to help secure the undead Hydra that had been let loose from the Stormlord's Vault. However, a whole lot of things and conflagration had happened at the same time. This had caused them to be momentarily ejected into the Primordial Sea or the Astral Sea. It's up to you. You can call it whatever you want. They were shit into another plane of existence where they lost 4 to 5 months on their timeline, and summer went by with a blink, and they are now back in winter. And how does a group of adventurers solve their morality problem that they had finally fixed? Well, they conduct another morality issue and steal a ship, a Githyanki airship, to make their way back to the prime material plane. With no knowledge of the Githyanki other than meta, which is lots of fun, they managed to secure a Githyanki schooner, a fleeted vessel, one that is designed to be quick, but full of all sorts of really cool technology and cool opportunity. However, it seems that they are in the process of understanding that they're being tracked, as a planier shadow of finding had tracked down the Githyanki ship and made an attempt of possession to purposely steer the ship back into the Astral Sea. Now, as they concluded this aspect of it, and where we last left off, the team was, well, who got the high roll in the perception? That was Tobias had pointed out to everybody else on the ship that that looked like a small winged figure with a mounted individual on it was gradually making its way towards the Githyanki airship. As it got closer, all of you looking off in that direction begin to realize that Fortuna is on her way in her full dragon form, mounted, it would appear, the gentleman. And at that moment of recognition, all of you heard that familiar voice in your head. Well, please don't kill us. We merely come to talk. And that's where we last left off. At this point, Fortuna lands on the edge of the Githyanki ship. But as she lands, she transforms back into herself.
Oh, man.
And merely leans up against the railing. Kind of, her look is very passive and contemplative. The gentleman slips onto the deck of the ship as well, his young, lithe form. He's merely in his 20s at this point, early 20s. Not quite mature, as they say for water genasi, quite young, but making quite the reputation. And as he lands on his booted feet, his pink, yellow, green, and bluish ivory vest coat and trench coat that he's wearing, heavy brimmed hat. He is wearing his typical pistol at belt, his rapier. He is dressed for heavy and long travel. As he stands there looking at all of you on the deck of the ship, with the exception of Oswald, who I believe is currently piloting the ship, or is Oswald long resting and put it on autopilot? I don't recall that part.
I'm piloting it.
Yes, Oswald is currently piloting the ship.
Yeah, because we'd just gotten the Githyanki off, haven't we? Was it, or was that the day before?
That was about a few
No, that
hours.
was-
Yeah, that was like a few hours
Okay.
before. You managed
Okay.
to control the ship again. You've kind of figured out what was going on.
Okay.
And that's how you were able to kind of get things reasonably under control. Fortuna leaning there. She just smiles and kind of nods in all your direction. The gentleman, well, this is an interesting sight. I mean, for a bunch of dead people, you look, well, exceptional. I mean, I would have expected you would have looked like that scary fucker that you used to travel with, the big undead paladin fella.
Oh no, he died.
Yeah.
I assumed he was already dead.
Well, he died
Right
twice.
again.
Semantics?
Well, there's no reason for harsh language.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yes.
He
How'd
got
you
eaten
find
by
us?
a dragon turtle.
Oh, well, I had gotten a call from my business partner, and he said his little stone gave him a bit of a ring in his pocket. And well, I said, well, I was in the neighborhood. I'd be more than happy to check on this for you.
Who's your business partner?
Oh, well, this
shit.
gentleman
It's my
right
fault.
this gentleman right here. And you watch as the invisibility spell falls, and there's
Oh,
Albin
Albin.
standing there.
Albin. Hey.
Okay.
And he doesn't acknowledge anyone. He just looks right at Mara and runs right up to her, grabs her around the waist, puts his hand on her stomach, and then just embraces you for as long as you want to maintain it.
Out of
A
character.
little uncomfortable.
The rest of us know
My
that
arms to
Mara was-
Fortuna.
Yeah, everyone was
What?
standing there when the traveler told me.
It's been such a long
Right.
time.
Okay. I just had. I
How
didn't
does
remember.
Albin
Okay.
know?
Fortuna looks at Tobias. I see you're still alive, rat. Interesting. I assumed you were a dead rat.
No, he's a live rat.
Ah,
I
Anybody
mean,
that
mouse
knows
folk.
me knows that I can't die like that.
well, that's a possibility. We seem to be all mistaken. The gentleman just kind of looks at Fortuna and back at Albin. Oh, yes, we were all incredibly mistaken.
See? That's our magic.
After a while, Albin breaks away and goes, are you okay, dear?
Yeah, only been gone for like a day or two.
No, dear, you've been gone for almost 4.5 months.
Yeah, but
No,
to us, it
I've
was
been gone
not
for like a day or two.
that long.
Where did you all go?
Welcome.
And you notice now that the gentleman is like kind of looking at the ship like a salesman looks at a potential trade. Albin like looks at the ship as well and goes, my God, have you been in the astral sea?
Welcome to the Astral Mouse.
Yes.
little bit.
And you didn't actually allow Tobias to name this thing the asshole mouse.
Yes.
Astral
No,
Mouse.
astral.
Oh, I
Of course, that's what he
beg
named it.
beg my pardon, Tobias. I have missed your candor.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead. Keep up the insults. That's what I live for.
Yes, dear. It's been some time. We all thought you were dead. It was very difficult for me not to tell Mother and Father that you're alive, but the gentleman here said that it was best that we keep it under wraps after I reported a ping off your sending stone.
Yeah.
We figured it would be best to come back covertly since everyone assumed we were gone
Oh.
anyway.
I am very glad that you thought in that way. He looks back over at the gentleman. Now, Alvin, don't look at me that way. Our bargain was purposeful and, well, it's important that we maintain our partnership. I agreed to this, but as you know, you are now incognito, my friend. You cannot go home. I will see to it that your lieutenants understand what to carry out in the orders that we've already put together. I will deal with the conversation with your parents, not to worry. But, well, perhaps you and Ma can take time for yourself in a moment, but perhaps we should get everybody caught up on the, well, political situation. Oh, this will be good, because I cannot wait to see the looks on their faces when they find out that they helped, well, what's his name, basically become the most powerful entity in Wildmont. But hey,
Shula Dick.
Is it Shulaman? It's not
I'm going
Shulaman,
to
is
kill
it?
him.
I'm sure it's Shula Dick.
I can assure you, Shulaman would be more than happy to reward your homecoming. Now, Fortuna, hush.
I doubt it.
We don't know, and they didn't know. Let's face it, he caught us all off guard with his little shenanigans at play.
Yeah, he tried to kill us.
He owes me a ship.
We tried to kill him.
Oh dear, he single-handedly accomplished something that most of the, magistrates in the Clovis Conclave have been trying to perform for quite some time. Not only is Darktoe utterly wiped off the face of the world, but the pirates completely subdued. No more Plank King. I forget his name. The one in charge of Port Zune, I believe. What's his name?
Zahefe?
Zahefe Uladan,
Zahefe
the Marquis,
Uladan.
is still in command. I was thinking more of the fact that I thought I had it clicked and I did not.
You said Port Zune?
Yeah, I thought I...
Iron Puss?
I was going to say,
No,
Iron
that's
Puss?
that's
No, that's the
that's
Hefe.
the
That's the
Hefe.
same guy, isn't it?
No,
Was it Warden Druna?
Different guys.
Alamatus Hadu and Warden Druna rot in a jail cell. Who would have thunk it? And now the Zahefe is in complete control of the Menagerie Coast. And wouldn't you know it, the head of the council and the head of his largest navy sits Shulaman. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that all the guilds must conform and operate through Shulaman now? Now, one wonders how an unknown person like Shulaman could, well, simply operate so freely. Well, did you know that he is an agent for the Cerebus Assembly?
We had
And-
a sneaking suspicion.
And then you hear Albin kind of look back at the gentleman. You knew, and we thought, but we weren't sure. Now, whether or not this is a play by the young Dwendalian king to make his way into the Menagerie Coast permanently, we do not know. All we know is ever since and he kind of slides his eyes over to where Asborn, as she's kind of taking in this conversation, all we know with the Morrow Valley and near rebellion due to the Sinclair's uprising, we'll have to figure that out lately. Young Sinclair, do me a favor.
Uprising?
Steer clear of your home for now.
Okay.
We will
He's
figure out.
also in.
We will figure out a way to get you in, but for now, steer clear. Oh, and suddenly, even Fortuna and the gentleman kind of their mood darkens a bit, and Albin looks over at Tobias. Tobias, there's no easy way to say this. Once the expositor's report was known to the Cerebus Assembly about the finding of your map, well, the boroughs were simply wiped off the face of Exandria. No survivors, I'm afraid. We tried, we looked. But for now, you may
What?
be the lesser of your own kind. There are others out there amongst the Morrow Valley and that travel, but for the most part, for whatever reason and who did it, we don't know yet. The expositors are doing their best to gather as much information as they can. But
You
unfortunately...
knew I should have given him that map.
Well,
We're going to go find out about it. Yeah.
well, I understand your anger, Tobias. So I don't even think the expositors understood the potential wrath that would be brought down upon the Warrens once the map was out in the open. I suspect there was a bit of, well, I suspect there was some miscalculation on what would happen once it was known that the map had been found and was being researched on its location and its origin. We lost at least 2 librarians, an expositor, and 4 monks in the circumstance that happened. They have not been recovered either.
Mhm.
It was very similar to the circumstance of Port Zune, the fiendish creatures or constructs that were involved in that. Something similar to that, although wholly different. I don't know if I want to use the word holy. Oh, please do use the word holy, because the gods clearly love us because we're in a world of shit, Alvin. You know, the world of shit that we're in, right? Where I should be smuggling drugs, weapons, and creatures to make myself a fortune, and you should be running special operations to see to it that the calamity never happens. But yet here we are, on the middle of the Morrow Valley, on the way to the Siren Green Forest, on a flying ship, discussing some unknown little pissant of the Service Assembly managing to pull the wool over my eyes, your eyes, everybody's eyes. But hey, it's okay. We'll deal, right? I mean, I love poverty. Fortuna goes, shut up, you whine like a grape. Just shut up. And they all 3 kind of look at each other and look back at the rest of you, and Alvin goes, well, anyways, as you can see, things have changed a bit. We suffered a bit of a setback. Me and the gentleman, while investigating the remnants of the Dark Toe Void, which is what it seems to be called on a map these days, we came to the agreement that something above our pay grade had accomplished something quite significant, and we were not prepared for it, and we did not see it fucking coming. But with that, I am now with you permanently as, well, my fellow has said here, I cannot go home now. I know where you are, I know where your friends are. If for any reason my psyche were to be peeled back, scryed upon, or investigated upon. Oh, by the way, do you still have your necklaces?
The ones that we can
Yes. You
turn
mean
into
the ones.
the disguise person ones?
Yes, you still have those, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the
Those
reason...
weren't given to us by him. How does he know?
Those were from
about
the
them?
Traveler.
I know.
Yes.
How does he know about them?
So, here's the thing. The Traveler's little priest that showed up to confirm my suspicion about the stone. Who is this Traveler?
Oh,
Sounds
he's my
chatty.
god.
He's a... Oh,
He's my god.
he's your personal god. You have
Yeah.
your own god.
Well, I'm sure there's other people that follow him too, but yeah, he's mine.
Oh, indeed. Well, somehow a mysterious halfling child ended up in my residence, handed me an information after I received a ping off Mara's stone. This information told me that you were given a means to return. You were gifted items of disguise. And at that moment in time, I pinged the gentleman to let him know what I had discovered, and he recommended that I teleport out towards him in Zadash, and we immediately make a beeline to intercept you.
What halfling child?
Oh, I assure you, it was not Tyrling. I know what to look out
Okay.
for her.
She doesn't look like her anymore.
We have not seen her at all since the
Didn't we
last.
see her and she looked wrecked?
We saw her, and she. Well, I mean, we
I
saw
just
a
wanted
shadow
to make
of
sure that you
her.
weren't being spied on as you come and find us.
Mm.
We don't.
Well,
They're gonna find us.
She looked.
We
She
might
looked
as well just
bad.
head straight in there with this ship and just.
Crash
did
it.
you,
Clearly
you
that
really
went right the
post?
first time.
Did you really post Tiny Tom Cruise? Ivan?
Yeah, that's Oswald. Tiny Tom Cruise.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
It's like
Oh, out of
it's
character?
Ghost, Oswald, and Tobias.
Yeah.
They're rings of disguise. They gave us rings.
Yes, they're
not
rings of
necklaces.
disguise. Well,
Yeah. They're gonna find out we're here. They're gonna send a bunch of people to kill us. We might as well just go straight to the source.
so
What? Just
Take
go
parachute
and
on.
We don't know where the source is.
Shulamon.
What I understand,
Shulamon.
he's like, yeah, but from
Up
what I
in
understand,
his-
Tyrling is laying low. I don't think Shulamon.
They like
He's
dominoes.
the-
Just gotta
the
knock
mouth-
them down.
Right?
They killed all my people. My mom and dad are dead. You guys can
Again,
stay here. I'm
We'll
taking
avenge
this
your
shit
family.
I
Don't you
by
worry.
myself.
We're
We
gonna
will
get 'em.
avenge your family. And
I
hopefully
think we
kill
need a
mine
better
at the same
plan
time.
than just let's go into the maw of the beast.
Yeah. Because going
Mm.
into the Maw of the Beast did not work well for us this last time.
Oh,
We even had
yeah.
a plan and everything, and we didn't
Well-
do any of it.
Also, like, I met her god.
He's
Not
cool,
much
right? Just because he can't make you taller does
Couldn't
not
even
mean
make
that
me
he's
tall.
not a god.
And he's
Huh.
pretty chatty.
Okay, I'm a god. I can't do anything magical for you, but I'm a god. Just trust me.
He did plenty of
Yeah.
magical things for us.
Like, believe that I got
Gave
a
us
bridge
magical
to somewhere.
objects.
He's speaking out of pain. Tobias, let's go get you some grog.
That'll just make it worse.
Okay.
Go kill some things.
Okay, whereabouts are we, and have we seen anything of Tyrling? I'm turning to Albin at this point. Have you seen anything of Tyrling?
we have
Is-
not heard a single peep. We even attempted to find the island that you described for us previously, the one filled with undead creatures, a massive undead giant holding supervision over a captured entity known as Qualish. I did
We'll
find
try and
out
find
some-
it again.
Well, I did find some interesting information about Qualish, and is a very practiced engineer, gnomish engineer, quite eccentric.
Very eccentric.
Isn't
That's
that on
true.
a different plane of existence?
He likes wearing dresses.
All of him
ball
like
gowns.
wearing dresses.
No, there
You
was only like
really
half
have
of
all
them.
only been gone for a few days, haven't you? None of this has weighed
Yeah.
in on your shoulders in the least.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hey, things happen, and this is messed up, and I'm gonna have to
Tobias.
kill a lot of people before I feel good about it again.
Tobias, what you're feeling is failure. We've all failed.
What else is new?
We need to
We
figure
are
out.
failures.
No. To fail means to try harder. I am not giving up on this. Something else is going on here. For whatever reason, Shulamane has decided to seize this much power this quickly. I do
He took, like,
believe.
this hammer, and he took like the stone, and he went, psh, and then all of that went boom.
Excuse me. What hammer? What stone?
The orb.
the
that,
orb, that
the
crazy
Hydra
orb that the
the
Hydra was
Barbie.
using.
struck
You
it.
watch
and,
as he
like, everything
turns away to
exploded.
look at the gentleman. The gentleman just, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
What was that orb
The
called?
orb of
The
planar
orb.
shift.
The orb of planar shift. That's
was the
right.
Pavu orb that it was looking at.
that
Hammer that we don't know
the
about.
Plank King had
Gentlemen,
underneath
That
Darktoe,
was
and then he
the-
took this orb with this hammer, and it was a pretty looking. I mean, it was a pretty hammer.
there
he went
is-
bam!
there's no possible way Shulaman would have known to do that. There's no way he would have known how to do that. I
Did
don't.
it? So someone must have told him.
Serial could have told him. He's in with her for sure.
It was a giant hammer.
So,
I think we need to get that hammer.
Azrael's
away from
behind
him.
this whole thing.
Who is?
He's got
That's the demon that's in Tyrling, is Azrael.
Azrael.
Oh, yeah.
As
That's true.
wait a minute, are you saying that you think Tyrling is one
Is
of the
possessed by Azrael. Yes.
and you'll-
Not think. She told us that.
She told us.
No,
she-
we
she
know.
told
that
us
she showed
herself
up
from her
at
own
our inn and talked to
voice.
us.
well,
Well,
that
I mean,
would
she was
be
kind of like astral
truly
projecting.
unfortunate.
And sure.
That
What-
would be. It is truly unfortunate.
We need
And
to
that
think
whole
on
zombie
this.
attack.
We need to think on this for a moment. This is
And she
putting
keeps trying to eat us.
this puts new perspective on things. I thought, for the most part, when you mentioned, why can't I find it? Where did I put that? Sorry, I thought for the most part when you mentioned Tyrling that maybe she was just a demonic possession, a figment of summoning or existential existence of being brought in for powerful means, projection of a pact or an agreement. So you're saying this entity, whatever it is, literally told you that they were Azrael.
Yeah, she's been popping her head up left and right on our ships, coming out of the darkness and
Oh,
talking
and-
to us. Yeah.
Didn't the guy in the box, what was his name? The dead guy in the box. He told us about that too.
The
yeah,
priest
I mean-
guy?
Yeah.
Hold on. Baran.
Bartholomew?
Bernard?
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew. Yeah.
Can you tell us, like, each of the 9 eyes was like one of the 9 hells, and she was one of them, or like the top one, or like that?
That's why she had that
That's
tattoo.
what I remember.
Yeah.
And the tattoo has grown.
Remember, I talked to you about that
Brown?
group, and you didn't want to
Yeah,
talk to
when
me
we saw
about
her
it.
last, the tattoo had grown. It was like taking over her whole body.
Write that
Last
down.
time I saw her, it was
Re-
like just covering
remember,
her back. And the time before
Gentlemen,
that,
I talked to you about the 9, and you didn't want to talk to me about it. Maybe that would have helped.
We didn't know.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
I can keep secrets because I'm
Made it
cool.
tomorrow.
See, this is what happens when you keep secrets, though. You know things, and we know things, and they don't match up.
Secrets are no fun.
And all of a sudden, you're in backwater country selling animals.
that's right.
you're in a backwater country selling
Secrets hurt someone.
animals. Yes, there is.
That's why I put
that.
everything above board. Then I know who my friends are. I know who my enemies are.
Right, but okay, so if Tyrling, though, is looking like haggard, I mean, like,
Hold on, I'll be right back. I lost a note page, and I think I know what I did. Hold on.
oh,
He must find the notes, the magical notes.
What if
I got kid aggro, so I'm going to take advantage of this real quick break.
Okay. What if Tyrling was
Spray
getting
bottles.
kind of
Spray bottles.
haggard, right? You know, she's getting kind of worn out
Oh,
being
right.
possessed all this time.
Well, I can't
And
like,
so
like
she
something's
possesses-
happening.
So
Ah,
who does she possess?
I don't know.
No, who
What
does
if,
she
like,
possess
the-
next?
And I don't know. Like,
Shulamon.
who,
Oh, so you're thinking it's
Oh.
gonna be a body swap thing?
Yeah.
oh,
But-
I was
but
thinking,
no,
like,
but
she would have to, like,
Sulamon's not an
he- it
oracle.
would have to go back to.
It
Have
doesn't
to
I
go
matter.
back
mean,
to, like,
was-
his hell
was
to get, like, recharged or
Tyrling
something,
ever-
right?
An oracle? I thought she was
Yeah.
just like a normal child.
No,
No,
Tyrling
that's
was an
why.
oracle.
That's why
Well, okay.
Shulamon stole her to begin with, and he put her
I-
at the bottom of that vortex thing.
You
Oh.
guys
Either
just
way-
can't hear any
Would-
of what we're saying.
Either way, he's involved in it with her. Either he's possessed by her or he's in cahoots with her, so it doesn't matter either way.
I feel like he's sucking up to the biggest, baddest baddie to get the most power, right?
Are we talking about
has his
Shulamon?
own.
Because yes.
Has his own
How-
investors to
Because-
please. Right
In game, I've told you guys like that conversation I had with him by the river, right? And how he's like trying to get back at like basically
Yeah.
the World
Oh.
Council. We've talked-
Yeah.
Well,
Have
now
I
I
t-
think he's killed the World Council.
I think he did. He won.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was successful in that.
I feel
But
like I
then
wanna
what's
go,
his next step? What is he trying to do now? Because that was his whole
Well,
Trying
revenge
to
story.
reopen the 9 eyes or whatever, like the Dark Lythander. Isn't that the whole purpose of the 9 eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like wasn't his whole purpose for revenge was because he wanted to like kill the people that killed like the person he loved? So why is he going this far at this point? Because he's done it. He's gotten revenge on most
Right,
people
but once
so
you
far.
start seeking power, like there's no stop, right?
Never
So
enough.
this
Yeah.
is becoming a corruption thing.
His intentions are.
Well, yeah, and especially if
Being
he's
worried.
stuck with
Well-
the biggest one in power when he helps open the 9 eyes.
I don't even
he's
think
sure-
his-
for sure going to be rewarded.
I don't even think his original goal is done yet. I'm pretty sure his original goal was to kill every single person in the Brecht household. So
Yeah,
Mm. Oh yeah.
he's killed one.
Check.
Jack, supposedly.
He doesn't have to kill you twice, you know. I mean, it
He doesn't
I'm
know.
a part of
Okay.
the Brecht household when all that happened. Like, I don't think I should count.
You count now. It's your last
I mean,
name.
it's well, not even Albin was grown at that point, so he should be like killing the.
So
you
yeah,
know,
that was
parent.
my bad. My dog ear note on my OneNote was wrong, and I had to pull my mini out to make sure I was spelling it right. It's Zarel, not Azrael. It's Zarel.
Azrael,
Zarel.
Zarel. Okay.
Zarel. I'm like,
Zarel.
where's this Azrael coming from? I'm pretty sure I meant Zarel.
I wrote it down like 10 months ago. but
Yeah, you
I'll
never
change
give
it.
us
many months
spelling.
ago.
How do you spell it?
You spell it Zariel.
Z-A-R-I-E.
I got that one right.
So I did have that
I-E-L.
right, Mara?
Okay.
No, I got Zarel right.
Well, that's where
Yeah.
she just spelled it. She didn't spell it
Right now
before.
when I wrote it down,
It's
it's
Oh,
just
gotcha,
right now.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spelled it right. I never get the names
Okay.
right.
I was just going to say, I'm proud of you, Mara.
Yay.
Just
Zarel.
throw random vowels at it
Okay.
and see what happens.
Azrael, Zarel, you know. That's what I meant. Zarel.
Bro.
You didn't give me the spelling.
Okay, so Azrael is
we all
really
heard Azrael.
Is the demon possessing Tierling.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So, if Zarel is taking an interest in our plane of existence, the one she serves clearly may not be aware of this. But she being a greater, well, she is a devil. We know this much. We also know that in order for her to project and maintain herself here, she would have to have bound a pact with someone. So this confirms my suspicion that that pact has been made with Shulaman. There is no way someone of Shulaman's ilk would have figured out how to create the void in the prime material plane like that. He would have to have been shown how to
What-
do that. That is...
Okay, what's the hammer?
I'm not really sure what the hammer is. Based on your description, it could be Zarel's hammer, for all I know, which would be odd.
Can I make it appear with the cantrip summon illusion?
Yeah, give me a performance check, and we'll see how well you can summon this illusion.
Okay. Come on, dice, be nice to me. Mwah!
I'll travel down this trench.
That's cocked. 14 plus, what is a performance? 0! So 14.
14. You begin to create the illusion of the hammer that you saw. You watch as the gentleman and Fortuna get a little closer, and they start peering at it. Albin peers a
I
little.
make it wiggle in front of him.
Albin, peers a little closer, pulls out a notebook, makes a quick sketch, throws it over to the gentleman. Gentlemen, perhaps you could make a trip to the library and see if you could find something that matches this. If it is Zarel's hammer, that might explain the power that was utilized to create that void. Now, here's the trick. Doorways swing both ways. The same vortex that shot you out into the astral sea. Well, perhaps this is the same vortex Zarel uses to permanently find a residence here. So, concluding the pact with Shulaman, if she hasn't already used it to come through, then something else is not completed yet. And that
So
is what we need to find out.
if
What
we
about-
kill Shulaman, will that that will just cancel the pact, right? She wouldn't be able to come through.
It's possible.
I mean,
Wait
she's
a
still after.
minute.
She's
It's
still
a good
after
time, I'm down.
Oswald.
So she needs like a way to get in and out of here, our world.
Well, on that point, Fire, the gentleman
Yeah.
looks at you. You mentioned Oswald is a target of suspicion by this Terling individual. Why
Yeah.
are they interested in Oswald?
He's got a baby
He-
in his chest.
He's got. I mean,
Oh,
he's.
what? I'm pretty sure that's not how halfling anatomy works. My understanding is.
Something.
It's how his anatomy works.
Something in his chest.
He's got like a little
Oswald?
baby Leviathan in his chest.
Oswald.
Go
I
get him.
mean, it just looks like a tadpole.
Oswald to the main deck. Oswald to the main deck, please.
Oswald's gonna kill us.
He's a halfling. What can he do?
Oh, he can
Punch our
Take
kneecaps.
out
put the hurt on
Yeah.
us.
Evidently,
Eviscerate-
Oswald is getting
eviscerate your
very
kneecaps.
powerful.
Tiny Tom Cruise can't do anything. No, I'm just kidding.
Oswald
So-
can do a lot.
Eventually, Oswald, you come up on deck to see Fortuna, the gentleman, and Albin talking with the others. The gentleman seems to have taken an interest in you for some reason. Young Oswald, you look different. Is he even there? Aiden, are you there?
The child has died.
Yes, he has wandered up. Anyways, we'll come back to him when he comes back at some point.
Okay.
But we were discussing the possible conjecture that if Shulaman is working with this entity Zarel, has made a pact with it to bring it into the prime material plane. We've seen tertiary evidence of this. And why hasn't she already come through if this is the case? Now, as Albin states, perhaps going on either Samara's understanding of, does this mean if we kill Shulaman, the pact is null and void, the doorway closes, and we've done what we've done for the betterment of Wildmont? I don't know.
Yep, you're gonna have to die. So
Well, but I don't know. I don't know much about pacts. So when I go and explore this hammer that you saw, I'm hoping that the librarian can help me learn a little bit more about devil and demon pacts.
what about that house we went to that went to hell? Literally.
Oh, that's right.
What happened?
What if she got through there?
Remember the eyeball house, guys?
We went to that house we went to.
And that's where I got my little
The
robot.
robots. Yeah.
Oh,
little robot
you're talking
and
about your
everything.
little adventure in Hollyhead and clearing out that residence for me. That
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
I mean, it went to hell. And I remember that.
When we were
Yeah.
inside the room,
Went
like the walls
inside.
got clear, and when you could like see outside, and it looked like hell.
It was hell, like
We were being transferred somewhere.
fiery,
Oh, yeah,
furnace-y
okay.
hell.
Didn't
with
Oswald dispel it?
demons and stuff, and we got out.
I think we just
Twice,
got
didn't
out.
you get sucked somewhere in
That
like
was
a
a-
bookcase?
That's a while ago.
Yeah, but that was before.
That was a while
No, that
ago.
was
yeah.
before. It was
No,
when we
we-
were leaving.
It was when we were like
Exactly.
in the living room area, basically.
Yeah.
Well, this is news.
It was
to me.
when we
I
were
mean,
coming out or
We're
when we
there.
were going in? Coming
It
out,
was when
right?
we were coming out.
You sent us on it. How would you
Well,
not
yes.
know?
Well, yes, I sent you to investigate the lab and find out what happened to, what's her name? I didn't really care. We were going to use that house as a safe house. That's all our interests were. We didn't know
So
that
you
it was...
don't know everything.
I know what's important to me. And what's it... Oh, Oswald, I have a question for you.
Yeah?
Can you
Oswald.
show me this thing they're describing in your chest?
Sure, I'm hesitantly showing my egg.
The gentleman walks up, his full water genasi self now standing in front of your new halfling form.
Is he dripping on him?
You... No, I'm not fire, but thank you. The gentleman kind
I
of
mean,
looks
chest.
down at you momentarily and then gets down to one knee, looks at the small yellowish globe with the little wiggly creature inside of it, and he just gently taps it with his Genasi finger,
I'm
and the
watching.
little squiggly stops, and the squiggly face kind of presses itself up against the orb, and then quickly swims, curls away. My. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that, ever. And the same book that was tossed to him, he pulls out, begins to sketch a picture of it.
That's
More-
what Terling keeps showing up to get. She keeps like popping up wherever. That's why we're in the sky instead of on the water, because she kept sending water creatures after us.
Yeah, and then she came with the sky because of me, but yeah.
Yeah, there's
She
that
needs
too.
this weird
But
egg
you,
thing.
but you
over as
described
well?
her as being in torment the last time she spoke with you. Correct?
She looked kind of melty. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know enough about religion and possession and demonic possession to know enough about this. I can assure you I will be quite proficient in it as soon as I can get back to the Cobalt Soul and talk to their librarians. But what are your plans now?
We have no plans.
Kill
I
Suleiman.
thought we were gonna find. First off, I would like to kill Shulamon personally. That's just
Well,
on my
Robbie
list,
Whiskey, Sourpuss, and Warden Druna. I feel like doing that. I feel like breaking him out.
But
feel
I
like breaking
feel like
him
we
out of
need to
jail.
capture that
That
island
could
as
be
well.
fun. Oh yeah, we have to capture my god's sister's island.
I
which
know,
is-
but
one that
I kind of like
Terling is
those
on?
two.
yeah.
So, I was under the impression the direction of your ship told me you were on your way to the Siren Green Forest.
Yes, we're gonna
Yeah,
lay low for a minute until we decide what our plan is.
Ah.
We're
So
gonna lick
we're-
our wounds, but I think the
I-
Githyanki are kind of after us now. Something tried to get our ship.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would highly recommend either abandoning this vessel and let it go back
But I like it.
to where it came from.
love this ship.
There's a thing you
Of
need
course
to
you would.
but there's a thing you need to understand about the Githyanki. They are not a forgiving type.
So whether we get it back or not, they're not going to forgive us.
Well,
I feel like you probably guessed that.
this is at least an
Yeah.
anchor into this particular plane of existence. Wherever it is, I can assure you, they know exactly where it is. If they haven't
Is there a way to
attacked,
jam that?
I don't know. Maybe
Hmm.
I've never gone into that kind of investigation before, but they haven't attacked you in full force yet. Well, I suspect they're already calculating something else.
Oh dear.
I've dealt with them before, and they are studious members of combat. They are quite sneaky, as Tobias would probably put it. I would definitely advise figuring out a way to make it not traceable before you find your way to the Ivory Heart tribe. And yes,
Yeah, how do we do that?
Samara, I'm aware of where you come from. And I can assure you, they will wait with you with open arms, so do not hesitate. And I do
I'm
agree,
looking forward-
laying low may be a good idea for a little while. While
Yeah. 'cause
Yeah,
we
but
kinda
you
have to
found us.
figure out-
What's going to stop them from finding
I
us?
found you because Albin found you, you idiot. I didn't find
Because-
you.
Yeah, that
because-
one's a little bit on me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mara. Yeah. She had me put. Yeah.
How
Not my
dare you
fault. We're
message
so
your husband?
connected. I didn't message him. I
How
just didn't
fun.
hide the sending
I
stone.
don't think it's a problem. Albin and
No,
Mara are
it's
connected,
good.
and
It's good.
fine.
Here's the biggest problem that we're going to have. All of us. How am I going to be the pirate king of the astral sea if I don't have an astral ship?
All of us. That's all of our problem.
Yes.
Well,
Feel like you won't.
we can figure that out after we kill Shulamon.
How am I going to be
Bastard
pirate
owes
without a
me
ship?
all his magic items. I want all of his cool shit.
Well, I
His
want
ring
some of
was
his,
very
I want some
cool.
of his shit too.
The hammer was
Shulamon?
pretty
I want
sick.
some of
I'll
this.
take that hammer.
Well,
Well,
Shulamon.
Albin,
I don't think we want that
have-
hammer.
I have my marching orders. Good luck. This is a boatload of nutters. I could see why they both nearly died and survived at the same time.
Didn't nearly die.
We didn't know. I mean,
We nearly died.
if my spell had worked fine, we would have
Nearly
gotten
died.
right back to the
Nearly
Brick family
died.
compound. I mean,
Yes. Well, we have a lot of new information that we need to go do some research on. Me and Fortuna will make our way there now. We'll probably head towards Rexentrum and study with the librarians there. A little bit more closer to the enemy, and perhaps that information that they sought is information that perhaps will be more readily available. If not, I will make myself back to the Dash and then eventually back over to the Menagerie Coast, possibly Nicodranus or Port Zoom, depending on wherever the Cobalt Soul directs me for this information. So I recommend that we at least try to meet again at the Syrian Green Forest in about a week. I will not send you any messages, Alvin. I need your disappearance to be complete as well. Until we know for sure the Cerebus Assembly's involvement in all of this, we need to use extreme caution. They are not a group in particular that we should fuck with.
do we
Are you going
do
to
we
Port
have
Zoom?
something that could help them not scry on us? Is there a way
I
to?
am working on that. I believe
Okay.
if my information is correct about young Samara here, you are on your way to the. I'll bring this up for you really quick.
Did you pick up my leather armor when you're in Port Zoom? I have a special.
Yeah.
It-
our
I
it-
never got
Like
my
that.
armor or my mace.
No,
Ve-
you got your.
I
I
can
thought you
accommodate
did.
this. I
It's gonna be 4 months old. What are you talking about?
I can accommodate this if you require it.
Armor doesn't expire.
Well,
So
you noticed how we got our butt kicked, right? Well, I need. Plus, I paid some good money for that armor.
Yeah, we'll
mean-
have to give
you
him.
mean I
we only
paid
paid half.
good money?
No, I don't think it.
Oh
was.
no,
you
I
paid
bought your
good.
rapier, not your armor.
You bought my
sorry.
rapier.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
so if I'm correct,
I got you.
young Samara, your matron, not your true mother, but almost your adopted family, goes by the name of Talran.
Yes.
My
Talran.
understanding is near the borders of the Cygrin Forest, you'll find the Luxodon camp. Maybe a day's march directly in to the center of the forest. They've been taking care of some particularly interesting situations, but I will allow her to fill you in. My understanding is Shoguna is with them as well. Perhaps there's some catching up to be done there as well. But I agree, heading towards the Luxodon camp and the Ivory Heart tribe, that would be the preferable choice that I think you should take.
So Tobias's armor is in Nicodranus
Very well.
in
Oh, okay.
Salagon's tannery,
I know Salagon
in the
well.
Opal Archways,
Okay.
and I believe we still have to pay for more of it. So because we only put 350 down, and it was 3,500 GP
Consider it done.
gold. So,
Ah.
and we made it out of T-Rex.
Samara, I don't know if
Yeah.
you'd be interested in this or not, but seeing as how you might have some time on your hands, I came across one of Qualish's books, The Art of the Artificer and the Art of Construct. He hands you the book. It's a heavy tome, because perhaps some studying and understanding of this might aid you. Do you still have that little puppet that I gave you?
Yes, I do.
When I made my way back to Zdash and was busy unpacking, I found some more parts. And he hands you like a medium-sized bag of additional gears and whirring devices and stuff. I have no idea what these things do, but to be honest with you, all I ever did with him was use a simple animate object spell and made him dance. There was a young lady that I was, trying to impress. She goes by the name the Ruby, and she loves magic, and I was doing my best to, win her over. It worked. although we don't speak much now. But anyways, I don't really know how this thing works or what it does, but when I was researching this Qualish fellow, there was a bit of information about the ability to animate and construct little machine-like creatures that he has been working on. Perhaps there's a connection there, I don't know, but here, and he hands you the medium-sized bag filled with spare parts. Perhaps this will help. I don't know.
Thank you.
It's the least I can do to make up for some of my earlier misjudgments.
It goes a long way in healing our friendship.
Well, Fortuna, it would appear that everybody here has what they need. Let us
Except
be
my
off.
hug from Fortuna.
Wait,
We'll see. We'll see you
my-
soon.
At any
Really,
time,
Tobias is that
uh,
where my hug at, guy?
Tobias, I can assure you, at any time that I hug you, it's because I'm choking you down my throat. Good day.
oh,
You watch as Fortuna jumps up on the rail, leaps off the edge, and then the dragon form comes back up, and then you watch as the gentleman leaps down onto Fortuna and just waves as the two of them make their way off into the distance. Hey, Ian Flat, thanks for the raid. Sure appreciate it. Hang out. We're currently in Wildmont, and we just got done with the conversation with the gentleman, and now the team is deciding on what to do with their Githyanki ship. Because, you know, when you have a Lamborghini, why give it up for a Pinto?
don't want to give it up. Albin,
I
speaking
think that was
of
a no, Tobias.
Albin,
I'm just staring out, going, "She's so hot."
yes,
Yeah, you
she
just
is.
like her for her anger.
I'm gonna win her over.
Albin.
Mark my words.
Tobias, I question your choice in woman.
Yeah. Okay.
Albin, did the Crimson
like
Mouse
you.
make it? Albin,
I'm
did
gonna
the
give
Crimson
him the
Mouse
most
make it?
disgusting look.
Question.
Well, we don't know. We haven't seen
don't-
hide or hair of anybody that was involved.
I thought you were on the Crimson Mouse.
Well, I was until I used a little recall spell myself. The captain insisted upon it. The Zorhashian ship did do its recall as well. However, the Blue Opal, the Crimson Mouse, I'm still not quite sure. If Captain Alabaster had a plan, I'm not really sure if he shared it with me or not. He simply walked up to me and he said, "Get out of here now."
Yeah.
Cross him off my friends list. But I'm gonna do that yet. He might still be alive.
I
pretty
hope they made
smart.
it out. But it's been 4
All
months
right.
and you haven't seen them?
It's been almost 5 months, and we have not seen them.
5 months.
You guys have been traveling for some time.
I mean, it seems like just yesterday to us.
Well, I don't
Well,
want to-
yesterday being almost a week and a half ago since you've been traveling from wherever you came from. That's when I got the ping on the stone, was quite some time ago.
We gotta
Yeah.
figure out this Githyanki thing because we don't want to draw them to like your village and all that.
We gotta make sure that we can block us from their, finding us. How do we do that?
Well, if you know how, I'm all ears.
Is there like is the tracker like a spell? Can we dispel it? Because if it's a spell, we can dispel it.
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, good lord.
Let's
try that, I guess. We'll try that.
magic
Plus
abilities.
1. So let's find out how this goes. Oh, 19 plus 1 makes a 20.
So,
2020, baby.
considering you're on a vessel that is quite literally imbued and infused with magic, it's quite possible that there is a series of wards and spells on this ship, either purposely hidden or purposely not obvious. So, like anything being tracked, there's got to be a beacon here somewhere. There's got to be something that is allowing them to track it. Now, whatever it is, it's going to be quite powerful because you're on a different plane of existence, and those that are tracking you are within a different plane of existence. So there's definitely some measure of power in this ward or whatever is being used as a beacon to track this thing. It could also be that the very ship itself somehow is a beacon. So far, you've only ever flown it. And that's when you kind of stare at Oswald in an awkward way and you have this kind of epiphany and go, well, if it, you kind of you think to yourself, if the ship itself could potentially be the magic or be the beacon, what if the ship is just merely landed and no magic is being used to fly it?
So we push the power button and turn it off?
Let's land first. Let's not just push it off in the middle of the air.
No.
Here we
no,
go.
I don't want to
Well,
do that again.
Let's land for a little bit and try to figure it out before we get any closer to that village.
Yeah, I would say if we come in as a regular ship. I mean, there was a river, right? I'm looking at the map right now.
I don't see a river next to the Luxodon camp.
That is a trail that
Ah.
you see running directly through the Luxodon camp. It's about a day's journey by foot to the section of the forest that they're in, based on the brief information that the gentleman gave you.
But what
We
I could do
wanna
is
hide it.
if we land and we go, I could turn us all into wind and we'll get there like that.
Yeah. We could do that. But we got to find a place to hide the ship, too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we land, we find a place to hide it, we put up our own wards or whatever. I don't know. All my magics are nature magics, so I'm leaning on Oswald and fire for the special magics.
But you guys,
Let's land.
you guys
and see
tell
what we
me.
can figure.
Well, we got to
I think we
see
should
if...
land.
So
How
we'll
close
land.
to the... Well, how close to the camp are we right now?
You guys are
week?
currently flying over the Morrow Valley. And because you just went south of Zadash, which is how the gentleman and Albin were able to catch up with you, you are currently at least an additional 2 days before you can reach the edge of the
Where's
Siren
Zadash?
Green Forest.
Oh, Zadash. We're
And
south
how far
of the
into the
Zadash.
Siren
Oh,
Green
Siren
Forest
Green, I
is
see.
the
At least another day
Luxodon?
by foot.
So we're a day by flying, and so 3 days.
So we'll
1 day,
land.
2 flying.
We'll land north.
Yeah.
Depending on where you
west
choose
of
to choose to land.
Alfield.
Ooh.
We'll land northwest of Alfield. Far enough away where they don't see us. Like in the middle of that little plain there.
It might
somewhere-
be better to hide the thing in the forest.
We're just gonna land for a minute to look around stuff.
Okay.
It does have we can cloak it.
Yeah, but we need to turn all the magic off for them to not be able to find it potentially. And the cloak is made of magic.
I want a lot of land around so I can
We
see
turn
things
off
coming
their
at me. I don't want a
Our
bunch of
magic is
forest
fine.
next to me.
I feel like our magic would be fine though. Like, it's their magic that's helping them find us.
Yes, but the cloak is made of their magic.
Okay, well, we're gonna land in the middle of that field, that big field there. The
Plain.
plains.
We're
West
gonna
of
land
the
in a
Amber
field?
Road.
And it's no longer
Next.
a boat. It's not very helpful.
Then it's a tip.
We're just landing
And
it.
it's currently near the end of, I think, because you had a 2-week travel time all the way from the Rime Tundra, because where you guys got back to the prime material plane, and you took a very roundabout route to avoid as many prying eyes, scrying, and other activity as possible. You avoided the Zohasian borderlands. You cut through this part of the Morrow Valley in the hopes of avoiding most of the densely populated areas of the Dwendalian Empire. Getting to this point took about a week and a half. You're currently on your 3rd night of the 2nd week of travel when you had this little incursion with Albin, Fortuna, and the gentleman. It is now approaching late evening and trying to figure out what to do.
I mean, my vote is that we land in the water, personally.
What water?
There was like a river underneath us, isn't there?
No.
Not
So the
Not if
problem
we're
is
south.
that might. I
Not
can't
if we're
see the map
south
on
is
here.
the dash.
We're
We're
south of
already
the
past the
dash.
Estes River.
Okay.
Yeah, the Estes River is at least a day. Let's see, that Menagerie Coast is west, so it's a day south. That definitely takes you a bit out of the way. The Estalok near Trostenwald is another water formation. There's the Unterloch deep in Dwendal. There's not a lot of like major bodies of water out here. It's mostly rivers and undersized lakes.
We can just
mean,
land on the.
If we
land on
get to the
ground.
foresty area, we could probably just hide it in the forest, right?
And then just
They
continue
can
on
find
ourselves.
it.
We
I don't want to land
land
it
it,
anywhere
and
near the
we
forest.
who can find it?
The Gith Yankee he's talking about.
To get
Well, that's why
Yankee.
we land it in the forest. We hide it, and we turn off all the magic, and then they might not be able to find it. I thought that was the plan. That's not the plan.
I'm down with that plan. I'm fine with that. If we lose it, we'll get you a new ship, Tobias. How about that? We'll owe you a ship. I got you a ship last time, remember? I'm good on my word.
Whatever. I'm outvoted.
Well, I just think if we land it in the water, it's more likely to be found by someone going along the water. If we land it in the middle of the plain, there's less places to hide it, and people
we're
can
just
see
gonna
it.
land, try to disable the thing that makes the Githyanki able to find us, and then we're gonna fly right into the village.
I think what we're
Okay.
thinking though is because the magic is like infused into the ship, anytime you're using it in a magical way, it's like a beacon. Until we figure that out, which we don't have time to do right now, we can hide it and come back and get it later.
Okay, fine.
Mara, thoughts?
I'm not just-
I don't really understand the magics all that well, but how does the like an anti scrying work? Could we put like an anti scrying spell on the ship?
I don't know that spell.
My brooch has an anti scrying attached to it.
But I don't think if we put it on the ship, I don't think
Just
it
tie
makes
the
ship
brooch to the
unscrying.
mast.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I attune the brooch to the ship?
I don't think you can attune the ship to a brooch.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Wait, theoretically, doesn't
Sitting here talking
Oswald
about my
act
mouth.
as a conduit for the magic of the ship, so the beacon would be coming from him, and then he could wear the brooch? Would that work?
I don't
We
know.
can try it. If we land the ship, we put the scrying thing, the anti-scrying thing on Oswald. We land the ship, and I try and scry on the ship.
Oh, there we
But-
go. Test it out.
But that might
Can you
not
wait?
stop them
Can you
from
scry
being
on an
able to
object,
do
or
it.
can you only scry on a person?
You can scry on an object.
Isn't
It's
there
a
also
lot-
a spell that's like locate object?
There is locate object. You can scry on an object. It's a lot easier to scry on an object, but normally what you're doing is you may focus on an object that you're scrying on with the intent of revealing the person that the object might be attached to.
So, Albin, you're the one that gave this brooch to Mara. Was your
Yes.
family the
It
one
was
that...
his family.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, did your family teach you the secrets of infusing anti-scrying stuff?
No, my sister was supposedly obsessed with it.
It's Gwendolyn's.
Then never mind.
Tell the
All this
truth.
magic use stuff's making my brain hurt. So
Tell
I'm
you the
not
truth.
doing it.
I'm a bard. I just sing.
To
And I
tell
don't
you-
even sing. I just beat my shield in. I kind of just yell.
to tell you the truth, tomorrow, once I found out the truth about The idea of my sister's death, I'm still not sure why she was obsessed with scrying, but she had a reason for it.
All right, well, we're losing daylight. I think we should just land.
It's all or nothing, baby.
I don't know how successfully we can hide a giant ship. People who are like good at the magics.
The
I
plains
trust all
and
kinds of like things to hide it.
the plains and hills outside of the Herethus mines, we could possibly find a place there. The forests outside of Alfeld. I definitely think we should avoid Trestenwald as much as possible. We could, if necessary, we could circle back slightly, hide it in the forests of Zadash. But to be honest, hiding it anywhere in the Morrow Valley could end up being complicated. Remember, we are in the breadbasket of the Cerebus Assembly. This is their brick and mortar to a certain degree. So we all know their affinity for magic things.
Yes. It's not just the Githyanki we have to worry about taking the ship.
Maybe they'll trade it for a rail ship.
What if there's a
what's
way-
What's a rail ship?
A real ship.
Oh,
you know,
real ship.
a
Sorry.
floaty ship.
I had a hard time understanding you there, Tobias. Sound like you had cheese in your mouth.
You might have.
There's gonna be something in your mouth in a minute.
Well, very small and furry and insignificant, but I'm up for it if you are.
We're not here to
Everybody with
shame
the
others.
insults.
I just see Tobias like, fuck you.
One of these days,
He throws you out 2 birds.
I'm kidding, Tobias. Of course, we will find you a ship. This obsession with being a pirate, I think you need to rethink that. Piracy is, well, completely outlawed at this point.
that's what makes it pirates.
Well, it's less forgiving than it used to be. The black
So
market.
I'm the only pirate left.
You,
So I am the pirate king.
You could very well be the only legitimate pirate left, Tobias.
I was inducted into Darktoe too, so I'm a pirate too.
Yeah, that's right. We're pirates. And we pirated this ship. So we're astral pirates.
I'm pretty sure the Zahefe's proclamation does not reach to the Astral Sea. I would not worry too much
Fair.
about that.
Asshole pirates.
Astral pirates.
Astral pirates.
I think Tyler had it right the first time.
So which direction are you guys going before you take your long rest?
Well, we're gonna keep an eye out for those shadows, so we're gonna post a watch. Those
Oswald,
that-
are you there?
I'm here.
Give me an Arcana check, please.
You got it. That's a 28.
28. You get the feeling that whatever interplanar ability they tried to use, it probably has its daily limitations.
Say that again?
Whatever they use as their interplanar ability, those usually require very powerful incantations, powerful magic requirements. You get the feeling that it probably is not something that can be used frequently. It's probably something they have to use very conservatively.
So they can't
Basically, we're
potentially
probably
come
safe
after us
for a minute.
again.
Okay.
Well, that's up to Oswald if he
At
decides
least
to
until
share that
after
with
an
you.
hour.
Is
A
he
long
sharing
rest.
it with us?
Oswald doesn't share shit.
I'm not a sharer.
So you're
I'm a
gonna make us
learner.
have a watch for no reason?
I'm not a share, I'm a learner.
Mm-hmm.
I could take the first watch, guys. Yeah, I'll
Sure,
bet you
I'll
want me on
take the
watch.
second one.
Hey guys,
Mm-hmm.
I could
you don't
join.
need to take watch. They barely are able to do that.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.
They're barely able to do that.
They can only do the whole like seeing this thing only like once per day or
Cool,
something.
then we
like
can
that,
all rest.
relative to that. Good. I'm going to sleep. Good night.
Thank you for your insight.
So, is there anything
you.
anybody?
Thank you, old wise one.
Is there anything anybody wants to do before they take their long rest?
I'll
No.
start reading my book.
I want to write in my journal.
Okay.
We
I'm
should
gonna
go
go
talk
to-
to Albin privately.
I'm gonna go to Albin and Mara.
Oh.
He's gonna be that creepy.
what-
he's gonna be that creepy
you talking
third
about?
wheel that stays up all night and never quite leaves.
You have to be like, get out.
So
Hey,
what you talking
guys.
about? What you doing?
What you
Hey, guys.
talking about?
Hey
What you
guys.
doing? Hey guys. Hey.
Did you
Hey.
know
So video
like,
here.
Hey,
Hey.
By the way,
hey, you, hey.
Albin, before you guys break up and decide what to do next, Albin casts an illusion of what he believes Zarel to look like, and this would be what you see.
Wait. You made it in the tiny spot.
I can't. That no,
That's-
that might not be it.
Ew.
That's she's got wings.
Great.
Does she have fire
Fire
for hair?
hair, but fire.
Pretty tight.
Bass.
Great.
Well, that's
Having
not what she
things-
looks like right now.
So
I'm having
everybody, I'm giving everybody a free night. There's no reason for guard duty, but if anybody wants to accomplish anything before the long rest, now's the time to do it. So Samara, give me an intelligence check as you are reading Qualish's The Art of Artificer.
Just straight up intelligence.
Yep.
I'm not very smart, so let's find out.
You're wise, but not quite as smart.
Ooh, I got a 12.
Eh,
What I'm looking for is I want to see. Okay, can I specify what I'm looking for?
Sure.
I'm looking for information about how I can get these little mechanical construct things to store a spell and also be able to fly around.
Okay. I'll say based on your previous study of the puppet-like figure and its gearworks and its components, I believe you had discovered the 3 stone areas where you could insert the stones, and you had made some previous discoveries that it's the infusion of magics within these stones that kind of give the kind of abilities to these gearwork creatures. And you spend all night taking those notes and cross-referencing them with this book, and you quite easily not only find diagrams and understandings of how this works. Basically, anybody skilled in arcane arts can infuse just very simple gemstones with these spell-like abilities, and then these gems are simply inserted into these points within the construct, and the construct gains the ability of these stones. The last bit that kind of you struggle with is that there is like an artificer ability that you'll have to learn in order to invoke the infusions once they're placed inside this small construct.
Okie dokie.
And there are sections of the book that talk about this spell ability. And with some more study and reading, perhaps you could figure this out.
Okay.
And let me... Yes, there it is. Give me one sec. So there's an ability in the book that you come across. It's called magical tinkering, and the use of spell casting within magical tinkering. And it's the understanding of that ability with the infused stones that would allow you to give this particular creature animated ability based on whatever spells you have infused into the 3 gem slots that can be utilized.
Okay. Thank you.
And it is often referred to as an homunculus servant. Some do it with creatures, and some do it with actual constructs.
Awesome. So I have 2 of these, yes?
Correct. You have one that you got from the gentleman, correct?
I
And
have
then
one
you have
from the gentleman and one from the house.
correct.
But I have not, I'm like tinkering with them and trying to get the gears to fit in
Correct.
so that they work. They're mostly there. I just haven't figured out the magic part of
Correct. Go ahead and give me sleight of hand.
it. Cool. See how we do about that. Come on, big money. No whammies. Here we go. Not bad. 17.
17.
It was an 18, but I have a -1.
Yeah. Now give me performance with advantage.
Performance. Oh, that was not great. 9.
9. You do a pretty good job of sketching in the book or in a journal the parts that you currently have and the parts that you've been given. You begin to realize that visualizing the assembly of these 2 into one, or trying to figure out what parts are missing, it's quite possible, based on the parts that you have, combining these 2 into a larger version of their smaller cells may be a better option, based on what you're beginning to read and understand and with the missing parts.
So, if that were the case, would I then assume that because they have 3 gems each, that the bigger one would have 6 gems?
No, you struggle with that a bit, realizing that the limitations of the construct are based on the numerical value of the gem. However, I will say what you pick up is that each construct had a unique purpose on their own. So whichever construct gem set you go with will influence the outcome. Whether you pick the one from the house or whether you pick the one that the gentleman gave you will influence the potential outcome.
Do I think I can figure out what the gems would each be?
Based on what you've been rolling tonight, give me an insight check.
Okay, let me try a different dice since that was not a great last roll. Insight. Ooh, natty 20, 21.
What you can figure out, based on the one that the gentleman gave you, it feels more like a creature capable of entertainment or influence, or construct. The other one, though, is wholly unique. It seems to be one based on servitude and almost like carrying out very specific orders, almost like it was a servant-like construct.
So kind of like unseen servant.
Perhaps.
Okay.
So go ahead and click off your long rest. That will settle that. Tobias, anything you want to do, or are you settling for a long rest?
I'm just gonna
Okay. Long
go
rest.
into a long rest.
Long rest. Asborn, I think, is on an emergency break. Oswald, anything you want to do before your long rest?
And I go over to Mata and her husband boyfriend thing.
Okay.
What that thing is.
Husband boyfriend thing.
Dude she hangs out with all the time.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They're quietly talking to each other. They look at, you come over and Albin says, "Yes. What do you require, Oswald?"
Just a question about what exactly did your family do to your sister?
What do you mean?
What did she do?
I was always told that during her study of magical scrying arts and enchantments, that there had been a mistake made and she had perished in one of her enchantments. However, I was recently told, after all of your deaths, I was told by my mother and my father that she was actually part of a bargain, an agreement, to deal with something called the Nine.
Yes, that's the whole motivation for our current problems with I'm blanking on his name right now. What is his name?
Zaral.
Zero.
No,
You're talking about
the
Shulamite.
Oh, Shulamon.
Shulamon. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean? Current
Well,
problem.
Shulamon loved your sister, I guess.
I had no information about this.
He told me
Loved
this
her.
some time ago. He said that he loved her with, and it was like with all his heart. And then once her family, what he equivalates to, sold her off, he dedicated himself to what he's doing now, basically.
Interesting.
Wonder-
Do you suppose he seeks to bring her back?
He was talking about that, yes.
Huh. You can see that Albin is lost in very deep thought. Thank you, Oswald. I will have to
Of course.
think on this.
Is that even
How did you come
possible?
across this information, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, he teleported, I teleported. It was just me and him after he kind of sucked me up into a black hole, and we had a little chat for a little bit. He tried to recruit me to his dark, evil ways. I said no.
Son of a
No.
bitch, that was him that triggered the alarm spell. I knew it. He was on
Yes.
he was on my compound. That fucking uncle of Sinclair brought that piece of shit to my compound. Why? Why did he bring him to my compound?
We were going to beat the shit out of him.
We captured them, right? Yeah.
Yep, and turn him over to.
We didn't expect him to hide basically a teleportation spell in his mouth.
He is a crafty fucker, to say the least.
He also, when he teleported me away, tried to convince me when I was running away, he had these sort of black mist around him, filled with all sorts of beings that I cannot comprehend.
Interesting. He could not have used a simple teleportation spell to get out of the compound. The only way you could get out of the compound is through, quite literally, going to a different plane of existence.
And when we did arrive there, he was pretty beaten and bruised and bloody, all on the verge of death. And within a matter of a couple of seconds, whatever that mist was, he was completely restored.
Would appear that he had created himself a sanctuary to fall back to, restore himself, and make his way out. I'm interested in one additional piece of information, Oswald. What did he offer you to pick his side? And this is before you are this now and what you were before?
Yes, he offered me information about what I used to be.
Tying you back to a world that even you are not entirely sure you want to be tied to.
Yes.
Because clearly you did not take him up on his offer. Or did you?
I didn't. Jesus.
Well, he was successful, Oswald.
Getting out of there, yes. It was a
No,
stupid idea in
I'm
retrospect.
talking about the fact that his overall plan appears to have been successful. It would seem that had he been stopped at that point in time, none of this would have happened. Self-reflection, Oswald, is what I'm talking about. Perhaps in the future, think a little bit deeper. Think a little bit harder about the choices you see in front of you. A lot of people died that day. We are still counting the numbers, even as we try to organize and understand what was left behind. Choosing to kill someone is not always easy, but to save thousands, I would gladly kill myself, if necessary.
Do you think I didn't try?
I don't know, Oswald. I'm just frustrated, that's all. I'm not used to losing.
Well, you've spent a whole, 4 months of it?
No, I've had a whole 4 months of experiencing loss. Yes, you've had a couple weeks. And I don't even think within the last hour you truly understood just how badly we lost. And you watch as he kind of stares at Mara, how badly I almost completely lost. And then looks back at you. I'm not sure what you're being saved for, Oswald, but I certainly hope it's to invent the bigger and badder and bestest potion of healing. Because all I'm seeing is narcissism, lack of control, and an inability to make precise decisions when required. His death on my compound would have meant thousands alive, lives relatively normal, a weakened situation that he was involved in, and a safer world.
You
What?
speak in a hindsight that is 2020, knowing everything that would happen now without even knowing what was happening back then, just completely positing that I did nothing and just sat back and let him free.
He was free. I'm sure Miss Sinclair was involved in this as well, yes?
Yes, she was.
I'm just trying to wonder why the fuck you didn't bring him directly to me if he was in my compound. As a group, we could have possibly parsed this out, resolved it, and figured out what to do. I'm still slightly suspicious of that, Oswald. There's a great deal of suspicion now around the Sinclairs as well. There's even the possible talk that they were involved directly with Shulamon as well. The whole thing was merely a setup to continue this ruse that has been propagated prior to the destruction of Darktoe.
It was your wedding. I didn't want to mess anything up.
Well, Oswald, I can appreciate that. But I can assure you, things are very fucked up. And you watch as he just kind of turns away from you, looks at Mara, and kind of gives you that eye of, he's kind of heading off towards the front of the ship.
As I walk away, I'm going to say, by the way, we're expecting, and I run.
You go back to
Already
flying.
knew.
Oh, damn it. I was trying to ruin it.
You go back to
Traveler
flying the
ruined
ship.
it. It's fine.
So Oswald, go ahead and click off your long rest as you'll get yours, because you can set the ship for autopilot for the evening. Unless there's any last minute stuff you want to do to the ship before setting in. It's up to you. Nope.
I'm good.
Okay. Fire, anything you want to do before I circle back tomorrow? Anything you want to do other than write in your
Yes.
journal?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to take out that orb with the tiny vine creature in it,
Okay.
and I want to study it, and I want to try and figure out how.
Give me
Still.
Give me an investigation.
And, maybe even like praying to the traveler for it too.
Okay.
My investigation.
Maybe made people taller.
He's not in the business of making people taller. I got a 15.
15.
I have no pluses.
You've spent a great deal of time at this point trying to figure out this thing.
Yes.
You've figured out that it's definitely something somewhere else, and this orb is merely a projection, or its ability to project itself into this particular plane of existence. I'll say this much. Based on a lot of the new information and your new experiences, you don't know much about the Fae, other than your interaction with the traveler's understanding of his sister's request for the creature to be returned back to her, of the other creature that is currently under the control of the Tyrling form that may or may not be the Zarel form. You get the feeling that it's possible that this thing matches quite well to the overall magical vibe of your Fae experiences up to this point. that somehow this creature is in the Fae, and this device projects it into this particular plane of existence. But it could also be a two-way device. What goes in comes out. But it's a powerful magic. You're still not entirely sure how it gets invoked. And that's the part that still is just, you get the feeling that giving it over to a very powerful individual with very deep knowledge of arcane study is one possibility. But that requires going to a major capital to locate someone like that.
Okay. Would have I don't remember. Have I shown this to Oswald? Oswald, have I shown you the little orb? Tiny vine creature? Had you look at it too? Oswald?
I don't know if he's there. He's muted.
Say that again.
Have I shown you the tiny vine creature? The little orb? I mean, because you know,
What?
okay, so I have a little orb. It's an orb of transmutation and enchantment, and it's got a little vine creature in it that will be bigger vine creature when it, you know, if I can figure out the
It was
wake word.
used. It was used as a guardian on the ship that you retrieved Bartholomew from.
Yeah, the Crimson Mouse. Before it was
Is
the
it the
Crimson
creepy
Mouse.
thing that was using all of the children?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The tentacles? Yeah.
Why did you keep this? What?
Why not? Because I want to try and use it.
Figure it out on your own. I'm tired.
What's your sister's name again? The ones that's trying to kill you.
I don't know my sister's name.
I'm gonna tell her. Mars boyfriend
Yeah.
husband thing ruined my day. I'm going to bed.
Okay, I'll ask you tomorrow.
So, Fire, go ahead and click off your long rest. Mara and
Okay.
Albin, you are alone on the front of the ship. Everybody has either drifted off to do their own thing, study. Oh, wait, before I get to you, Mara, Asborn, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Anything you want to do before your long rest?
No, nothing at all.
Okay. So go ahead and click off your long rest. Mara, you're the last one. What would you and Albin are at the front of the ship, kind of awkwardly standing there alongside each other.
So I'm gonna like kind of catch up to him, put my hand on his back. So, is you already in a bad mood?
Yes, well,
I should tell you. So at our ceremony, your sister came to me, spoke to me. I never mentioned because I didn't think it was relevant. Now I do.
relevant how? So
With
let
this-
me organize these thoughts for a second. Miss Sinclair and the freakish creature you call Oswald had their hands on Shulamon, and it sounds like somebody delivered him to my compound. On the same day, you had an encounter with my now dead sister after I'm assuming I gave you that necklace, correct?
Yes.
So, shall I stand on the orchestra pedestal, or shall I be an instrument being played? I'm confused.
So I didn't know there was a tie between her and Shulamon until now.
Is there? I don't know either. I'm just bringing it up for conjecture. It seems to be on our wedding night when you were chosen quite uniquely by our bloodline heritage to be something incredibly unique. Needless to say, I was in a state of euphoria after that happened. But I can't help but wonder about the sincerity and honesty of both Miss Sinclair and Oswald. Are they really on our side? Because wherever they go, I'm beginning to question my belief in their capabilities.
I mean, I believe they're as honest with me as I am with them. Just to say I'm not.
Yeah,
honest
that's
with them.
that's a fairly poor answer, but honest one, yes.
So I mean, our group sort of thrown together, and we don't necessarily share everything. I mean, it was quite a while before we even knew Asborn was a Sinclair.
Fair
Or
point.
female.
Or a woman.
Fair point. Well, I'm not overly surprised. It's one of the only pieces of information that allows me to believe that she's not involved. It's always been understood that her and her brother have been on the run and in hiding since the Sinclair family many years ago fell in and out of favor with each other. Their council, their family council as they maintain it, has always been one of bizarre understanding and how they hold on to their power in their little fiefdom that they maintain. So yes, I can agree with that. It's Oswald I'm concerned about.
As well, honestly, he definitely has many secrets.
Well, secrets don't bother me. I track in secrets. I trade in secrets. I can operate within secrets. There is a void, an emptiness inside that creature. And he's trying to fill it, and he's trying to fill it at all costs. If I thought for a moment he would sacrifice the entire effort that we're making in trying to fundamentally stop Shulamon in whatever he's doing, I could see him sacrificing that effort merely to fill that void. I don't know. Speak with conjecture, but I just simply do not trust him.
Fair enough. Hopefully, with time, build more trust. If you're going to be with us for a while.
More to keep an eye on things, see how they unfold. I cannot go back to the Brecht Manor now. My disappearance will be explained away by the gentlemen and my lieutenants. My sudden reappearance would not be easy to explain. So as far as they are concerned, I'm merely on a secret clandestine mission to find information.
And I assume I can't show up there either.
No, dear. You're dead.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad you're not. Like
Yeah, me too.
I can assure you, if the six of you were to suddenly reappear on a stage somewhere, I don't know what that would do to the politic. Although, I hesitate. Worm on a hook or canary in a coal mine. Both still feel like bait.
I think we need some more information before we start laying out bait.
Well, find a place to put our heads down. I am exhausted and relieved at the same time.
As am I. Maybe before we sleep, though, could I ask you a little bit about pregnancy?
Well,
I don't know anything that's going to happen. I don't... Like, you might have more information than me.
you are, by all accounts, a lycanthrope now, a member of the Ghost Clan, or a member of the Ghost Order. So will our children.
Right. Are they going to be born lycanthrope, or do they still have to partake in the blood ceremony?
They will be born lycanthrope, but Mara, there have never ever been twins born into the Order. Ever.
Okay.
This is more of a question for my parents. I don't know what any of this means.
Well, we can't ask.
But-
'Cause we're both...
But they will certainly be happy to be grandparents, and I believe the last
Sure.
thing I remember my father saying to me before leaving for our honeymoon is something about shots on goal.
Of course. Of course.
That sounds
Okay.
familiar.
Right. Let's go. Let's head to bed, and we can talk more.
So go ahead and click off your long rest. It is now the following morning. But before we say it's the following morning, was there a particular direction you were going in, or still just heading for the Siren Green Forest at this point?
Just going the same way.
Okay. So you are now over the northern Trostenwald Plains, If you're from Owlfield, it's your north western plains. If you're from the Herethus Mines, it is your south western plain. So where those 3 little hills are, the 2 little hills, and that open area, you're now currently flying over that area. You're less than a day away from the very edge of the Siren Green Forest. All of you wake up. It's now early morning of the 4th day of the 2nd week of travel from the frozen tundra area of the Rhine.
Okay, let's look out for some of those shadowy, followy projections, and look for a place to hide the ship from, more terrestrial people finding
Since
it.
hiding the ship has still been very much in everybody's mind, go ahead and make a survival check for me. See if anybody gets any inspiration from that.
Everybody
All of us?
survival check?
Yep, all 6. Survival, survival, survival. Because you each have your own little kind of insight into how to hide a
I got a dirty
magical,
20.
cool-looking ship with lightning cannons.
Oh, I got a dirty
I got a
22.
12.
Dirty
Okay.
20!
Yeah, high five.
12.
High five.
unfortunately.
Asborn,
Got an
Oswald, what'd you
18.
guys get?
14.
14 for Oswald. Asborn?
He's dead.
Sorry, my roommate was asking me something. Can you say that again?
Survival check,
Survival check.
please.
Survival check. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that.
Set my dice up yet.
6.
6.
Why are you rolling in D&D Beyond? You
I
have
did not bring my
physical dice.
dice. I did not bring my dice. I
Embarrassing.
forgot to when I
Fire.
moved.
Embarrassing.
Goodness.
You
Send
suck!
someone the address at your dorm room.
Freaking
Ah.
embarrassing.
Now you
I'm
have
going.
to.
I'm going back home this weekend, so I'll grab them.
Yeah, now you
Okay.
have to go onto Viridian's website and buy dice and have them
Oh.
shipped.
I have such
To your
pretty
college.
ones. Oh, I love that website.
So,
I got a 18, by the way.
as a group, with the exception of Miss Sinclair lost in thought, you begin to realize that your options are becoming more limited as you begin to examine the landscape in more detail. Allfield is just too risky and too far away. Trostenwald, way too risky. Risky.
Whiskey.
You don't know much about the Herethus Mines. However, for the most part, the very borders of the Siren Green Forest is mostly unpopulated. There are very small hunters guilds and forestry guilds that practice some art of either harvest or hunting along the very fringes. But Albin reminds everybody that the primary concern about the Siren Green Forest has always been the risk of werewolf sightings and werewolf attacks. This has been a urban myth that they've propagated as a way to keep people out of the forest, and Albin's organization has been a part of that. But he does confirm that there is some truth to that, and that the Luxodon tribes that travel the fringes of the forested area often either deal with or report on lycanthropes that do not meet with the Ghost Order's approval. Those that take on lycanthrope ability in unique ways. And with the, understanding that not all lycanthropes are good lycanthropes. Some come by it accidentally, and some learn to be hateful and vengeful. But it's still a concern. It's one of the reasons why the Order tries to keep people out of the Siren Green Forest. And to a certain degree, they work a little bit hand in hand with the Ivory Heart tribe to maintain this kind of balance of keeping those out. But for the most part, this seems to be the best place to possibly hide the Githyanki tree, as the canopies here can be 30, 40 feet tall. There's already a reason for most people not to come to the forest, and it's a matter of getting there quickly before there's another attempt to try to locate the Githyanki ship. So what would you guys like to do?
I say we touch down.
Yep.
Now the survival check is high enough. There's a day's travel. Oswald, since you are still piloting the ship, go ahead and give me an Arcana check with advantage because you are day to day getting more familiar with the intricacies and understanding of the ship. Unless you,
Hold on.
no worries. My headset is kind of killing me tonight, and I don't know why.
Am I rolling?
Arcana with advantage.
26.
26. Now give me investigation with advantage.
Disadvantage.
With
With
advantage.
advantage?
With advantage.
Advantage.
With advantage. Which one?
Investigation.
Okay. 25.
At some point during the piloting of the morning of this fourth day, you look at a series of glyphs and intricate designs that are part of the mapping system that show you where you currently are, and it can see out to a certain point, and then it ripples off the planier points that if you decided to shift the vehicle into another plane of existence. And as you focus on that thought process, at certain points, glyphs appear as if these are points of entry. And it dawns on you, maybe I should just turn off the mapping device. Maybe that's the beacon. Because it's constantly pulsing out to the other planes in order to refract the image of what you're currently doing.
All right. Fair enough.
You slide the rune over, the map goes away, and the only available map, you don't even have an available map anymore. All you have is the ability to see outside the ship so you can steer and guide it under normal vision. Turning that all off, unfortunately, makes it harder to navigate, but not impossible. And with that, you believe you possibly just turned off the beacon that they were using.
Navigate.
Yay.
I'm gonna yell, navigator. I need a navigator.
Do we have a navigator?
Yeah,
I'm calling for a navigator.
I am the
I don't navigate
navigator.
on the ocean, but I have
Do we
Go
have
ahead.
not. Oh.
Mark's
I
like,
got-
I'm on the land. I don't know what the fuck where we're going.
No, I got experience navigating the flying ship of flourishes, so
Have you seen these lands, Tobias?
He watches Tobias kind of looks down the hole and yells, "Big green patch that way."
that sounds good.
That doesn't help. Get someone who actually knows what they're doing, please.
Mara, aren't you close-ish to around here?
Yeah.
From around here?
Samara,
This
you're
is
very
more
familiar
idea.
with, you're pretty familiar with this region. Your mother raised you in this region. It wasn't too uncommon for you guys to trade with the caravans out of Trustenwald and Allfeld, and that travel deep in and out of the Morrow Valley. With your guidance, you could easily make it to the fringe of the Siren Green Forest. And once you guys get there at the end of the fourth day, give me one more survival check with advantage, because Samara does know the region. And let's see how well you'll be able to hide this vessel and land it amongst the trees.
Don't drop my dice.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Okay. Mara is now officially useless.
Hey, but that's a 6 total.
I got a
Good job,
15.
Matt.
Okay. Asborn, what'd you get for survival? He's probably back to talking to his roommate again, isn't he?
Hey man, you just got there, you know.
Tobias, what'd you get for survival?
16.
16. Okay. I'll say as a group, even though Miss Sinclair has dropped off the face of Exandria.
That means she got a 30.
Oh, she got no.
Automatic.
Oh no, I just saw that he needed another quick break. That's fine.
Oh.
Everybody's rolled decent enough with the exception of Mara, but Samara's roll was really the key. So Oswald, you're being guided into a section of the forest that Samara believes to be a good point. Fire, Tobias, and Mara are attempting to guide through Samara's guidance into this canopy of trees. But now that you've turned off the mapping system, you're kind of relying on the very minimal magical vision that you have of the immediate surroundings of the ship, which is the only active glyph that's left to allow you to navigate. So you're now beginning to try to get this thing to descend down into a very thick canopy of trees, and they're guiding you through gaps. What skill do you want to use to try to land this beastie?
I shall use what I always use. Arcana.
Go for it.
21.
21. After about 20 to 30 minutes of careful guidance and managing to get the ship, there's the occasional scrape or rebuff off of some of the tree canopy. But as you kind of all watch the ship begin to submerge below the canopy of the forest and kind of settle into the mossy undergrowth of the forest, the ship has landed. You can hear all the magics being shut down, turned off, with one exception. You only need to keep one cell powered, and you can turn on the cloaking device, since Oswald had made the understanding, or the possible understanding, that turning off the mapping system is where the beacon was.
Smart guys.
Okay.
Cool. Disembark. Can I, just for added flair, like really quick druid craft like a thicket or something to kind of hide it?
That would take you a long time. The ship's pretty big.
Not only that, but it's cloaked.
It's fine.
It's
Fine.
close.
invisible, so we're good.
We need to make sure that we can find our way back here, guys.
I know where we are.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, as long as I don't die, you guys are fine.
Oh, we're fine then. Yeah. Yeah.
That's advanced
Yeah.
stratagem.
Yeah.
What are we all idiots? All right. Don't have to-
How would you like to? Oh, you know what would help? Actually, Fire. What if you send Ember up and you can see from above and you can see like exactly where it is, and that way you get a little bird's eye view, and that way you know where to find your way back to.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
Just in case, insurance, in case I die.
Don't die.
I'll try hard not to.
Do I
Okay.
send
We're getting
Ember
ready
up
to get
and-
a UST show.
Yay!
Thank you for the raid. Really appreciate it.
Yay!
Okay. Sweet.
Ivar, you're such a
love it.
crotchety old fuck.
I love
He
being
doesn't like-
rated.
He doesn't like anything.
He likes getting raided from behind.
Yeah, I like getting rated from behind.
Well, his ass is 10 out of 10. Oh, you said rated.
Raided.
No.
Oh, Cesare came
Hey,
out
Ches.
just in
Hey,
time
Ches.
to hear the butt stuff about Ivar. It's always timing with Cesare. It's always timing.
Right.
And you can tell I redid the overlay today because none of the elements were centered. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I like the new overlay though.
Yeah,
let's go.
and all of my technical solutions have been great. No more latency. All that's been gone. So you guys managed to land the Githyanki ship without too much issue.
Okay. Yay.
Fire,
Um,
you checked it out. We're good.
Yep. I'm
Okay.
gonna
You got it in your brain.
get a bird's eye view. Get bird's eye view. Send Ember up. Get bird's eye view of the where we're at, so that I can remember, and then how to get here and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me
Trail of breadcrumbs.
give me a perception.
breadcrumbs.
Give me a quick perception check with advantage as you're making little kind of like reference points to give yourself.
25.
I put on my Red Riding Hood just in case.
You're thinking Hansel and Gretel.
You run into any.
Oh, you're
Really?
thinking of Lycanthrope.
25.
25. Yeah, you do. Hey, negative to charisma. Thank you for the raid. Really appreciate
Ooh,
it.
hey.
Negative 2 charisma.
I love it, right? That's totally like every character you guys play. It's always a minus in charisma.
Oh, dude, I had to take a feat, so I didn't
It's
have
your
a negative
dump
in
stat.
charisma. It was my dump stat.
Dump
I'm
stat.
not very charismatic. I can't talk myself out of shit, so I might as well make my characters not be able to talk themselves out of shit.
Hey, Mark
Dump
and
stat to your wisdom.
hey, Mark and
Sorry, I
negative.
don't
Thank you for the
know.
follow. Really, really appreciate it. We like feet.
Yay!
We like feet. which fits into the fact that Callista hates feet.
I really do hate feet. Yeah.
Dump.
I don't even like Jason touching me with his feet. No. He tries and then he tries and I like flinch away and it's like
Hey, Benny.
Yeah,
And
Benny
then he
the,
does it on purpose.
Benny
You
the
know he
Knife,
does it
thanks
on
for the
purpose.
follow. Really appreciate it. Who's hooking up with the feet pic?
No feet pics. No.
So, you guys are
Someone's got a
now,
foot fetish.
I'll say you burnt most of the early and mid-morning, and it's now afternoon in the Siren Green Forest, and you've settled the Githyanki ship and activated its cloaking device. Based on Samara's knowledge of the area, Samara, it's quite possible one of the tribal areas that the Luxodons will often use is within maybe a few hours' march from here. Especially since the ship had to be taken slightly deeper in to take advantage of the higher canopy of trees to get it hidden and, under lock and key and safely stowed away. So for the first time in a long time, you guys are about to pack up your gear and be on foot again. You get
Can
the
I make us
feeling that it's
wind
at
walk so that it takes
least...
less time?
What's that?
Can I make us wind walk so it takes less time?
If you'd like to, you could probably be there in like 5-10 minutes.
Y'all want that?
It's up to you, because
Who wants to
you guys
walk?
know
Well-
that you have a...
Carry your gear first.
Well, I mean, you guys have to walk through the Siren Green Forest for at least 4 hours, and you've already been told that werewolves do frequent this area. It's daytime. The idea that they may be out there in the day is not likely, but it is a forest that only Samara is familiar with, and, well,
I wouldn't mind getting there faster.
Dubtac, I did the, because I'm horrible at making maps, I did the map in Wonderdraft. And I still haven't put my tool links up yet in the abouts. I will try to get that done this week, but it's you can get it through Humble Bumble software, I believe, and it's called Wonderdraft. It's like $25, and it's a perfect crutch for someone like me because I can't do maps to save my ass. And it does a really decent job when I'm trying to, immerse these folks into an area that they can find it pretty decently. Thank you, I appreciate that. Considering, I'm horrible at it.
This
So,
is one of his better maps.
thank you. I
He's
think.
getting better.
Yeah, as Fire said, they're normally complete shit, but this one got a little bit better.
Yeah.
I
But
have,
I say it with love.
yeah, she wants me
She
to cook.
gives you
She wants
she
me to
gives you
cook her a
4
meal.
feet
That's why
out of
she says it
5.
that way.
on this map.
So, with that, it's afternoonish. You're in the Greenfeld Forest, and Samara seems to have an idea about making travel a little bit easier.
So y'all have to be wearing your gear so that we don't leave it behind. I'm gonna turn
Okay.
y'all into clouds and wind, and let's go.
Oh, hold on.
Um,
Fire, can I have my sending stone, please?
Sure. Knapsack. No,
don't give it to her.
Pull it out.
Just you.
There you go. Yeah.
Who are you going to talk to now and get us in trouble?
Well,
Really,
Albin's
only just
here.
Albin. Yeah, he's the only one who has this. So
Yeah.
just Albin.
Anytime the gentleman shows up, I don't trust nobody.
You watch as
Not the
Samara invokes the spell. All of you are now separate puffs of wind. All 6 of you kind of drift up with the current and begin to float above the canopy of trees. As you shift and move, gliding across the canopies, it doesn't take long. You're moving incredibly fast. Within
There's
about
like 300 feet, right?
well, yeah, but I mean, we're not even technically an encounter initiative or anything, so
Right.
we're free to really kind of exercise that distance of time. And at some point, Samara, you see a very familiar opening in the canopy, kind of little telltale signs of columns of fire smoke
paying
coming
attention.
up.
I'm paying attention to the direction we're floating
Okay, fair enough.
and watching, and I want to memorize the route. I don't want to lose the ship.
Okay. You're so familiar with the ship, you begin to realize that if you were to scry on it, you could find it. Did she just shush me? She just shushed me. I got shushed. It was so hot. I could actually hear her laugh in the next room.
Yeah.
As you begin to get closer to the edge of the Luxodon camp, Samara, there's a lot of familiar smells already in the air. The familiar scent as a child with this tribe, the earthen mother priestess kind of vibe that you gained here that sent you on that path is here. For the first time in a long time, putting Shulam on the back of your mind, working for the Zahefe Uladan at the back of your mind, all the worries and troubles just seem to melt away as all the puffs of wind that you guys all are begin to descend into the Luxodon camp. And as you descend, you can see 4 figures standing there in the very center of camp. One, Samara, you recognize as Shogona, your mother. And she's the orc, correct?
Yes.
She is a very tall and kind of towering figure standing next to an even taller figure, Talaran, the matriarch of the Ivory Heart tribe. Standing next to her, you can see War Chief Kel, and standing next to War Chief Kel, you can see Counselor Danku. All the Lexodons that are here, there's maybe 2 or 3 dozen milling about. However, you can't help but notice that the 4 staring up from the center of camp are staring up directly at the puffs of wind that are descending down. And as you're coming further down into the camp, you recognize that your mother now wears the priestess robes of the Earth Mother. And you recognize the epaulets and designs on her very high level clerical understanding of the Earth Mother. You get the feeling she's been busy. You can see Talran is wearing all of her normal tribal wear, except for the fact she now has the mated insignia on one of her massive tusks, as it seems that her and the war chief have been recently wed. You can see that Counselor Danku is the one that's normally sent into the Dwendalian region and in the Mara Valley to, well, manage conversations and manage the politics, and often will converse with Albin, and this is the individual that Albin is usually familiar with in their kind of overall attempt to maintain both secrecy and a kind of veiled kind of mythology about this region of the forest to purposely keep people out of the deeper regions. Eventually, the puffs all settle, one by one. All of you are revealed. And without any hesitation, Samara, you watch your huge mother just come racing over to you, pick you up in this monster of a hug, and she swings you around and just, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh my God.
I'm just holding on.
When we heard that you were dead, we lost all hope. Well, one would lose hope if you're dead, but we didn't believe the information. See, look, Taran, she's alive. I told you. And she goes racing over to Taran, pulls Taran over. Luxodons are a rare species for most of you. Most of you are now staring at what for most would be considered a mythical creature. Either individuals that have been mostly talked about in very hushed tones, or hushed considerations. You're now looking at a full tribe that refers to themselves as the Ivory Heart. This is the home and place where Samara has grown up. And you can see this as the war chief comes over and does the tribal kind of presentation of his heart to her and welcoming her back to the tribe. The war chief looks down at you, kind of shifts to the side. It is good that you are back, Samara. You have been missed.
And I've missed all of you, and I'm so glad to see that you finally made an honest woman out of Talren.
Well, I think it's more to the point. She's made an honest man out of me. It was done.
Say that again.
It was done mostly out of necessity, but there is love involved as well.
I'm glad to hear it, my friend.
So,
My crew.
yes, you bring interesting companions to your home.
Yes, come on. Come forward, everybody.
Other than
getting-
Tobias and Oswald, there's at least a measure of equal footing. Tobias, as far as you're concerned, you're just looking at fucking giant elephants. It's the weirdest thing you've ever fucking seen. You're just like looking at these giant elephants hovering over you with humanoid kind of tendencies. And it's beyond cool. It's completely the coolest thing you've ever seen. And
We met
now
them before at that temple, right? Those are the
Yeah.
ones that didn't want to let me in.
you met a version,
There was one Loxodon.
but they weren't members of the Ivory Heart tribe. But it was a single Loxodon that was practicing at the Earth Mother's temple in, I think that was Zadash or Zun.
Port Zoom.
Port Zun, because you were
Port
visiting. Because you were visiting Mara's family at that point.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let me in, and then they stabbed, and then Fire Sister
And then my
stabbed
sister
her.
stabbed me.
Telron kind of steps up.
I think
And
those are related.
you watch as Telron steps up and makes a symbol in front of all of you. You are all very welcome to stay. Samara, very nice to see you again. But your sudden appearance, I feel, well, does not only mean you've missed us, but there is requirement and urgency in your eyes. Something you must continue to practice. Your face gives you away quite easily, daughter of the Ivory Heart. Please come into our main tent where we can discuss what it is that you require. And the war chief, all of them kind of turn and offer Samara, and Shogana comes up to you and grabs your arm. Oh, they're always like this. It's so good to see you. And the two of you just kind of hurriedly lead everybody into a very large central tent within the Loxodon encampment. There are great mounds of varieties of fruits, nuts, other materials that Tobias would call not meat food, all about. As well, the Loxodons, and particularly the Ivory Heart, practice the art of not consuming meat as part of their religious understanding of the Earth Mother, and to focus in on pleasing her and keeping the balance of the wild in mind. They offer you a sitting area around a very open space where trays of fruit and vegetables and hummuses and dips and all manner of foods are being placed out in front of all of you. Watch as these, with surprising grace, and Shogana follows as well, crisscross very kind of lightly down onto very thick padded sitting positions amongst this Bedouin-style open canopy tent. You can hear a Loxodon begin to strum on one of their local musical instruments. Other Loxodons are like catering and bringing in drinks as well. The war chief kind of looks at you as you all one by one begin to sit down. The war chief looks over at you. So, Gamara, before Teleron tells me to shut up. What brings you home? To the point, as I too sense your urgency.
Yes, we are requiring a safe place to rest and regroup. We've had quite the adventure, and in the interest of time, I would just describe everything that's happened.
We'll say in
Meeting
about
with,
we'll say it takes you about 10 or 15 minutes to describe. I love your camera. Your camera always knows when it's 9:20 in the evening here on the West Coast. It immediately starts bugging out on me every time.
Sorry.
Oh, it's not your fault. It's the tech gremlins. They exist. They're a real thing. As the group of Lexodon kind of take in this story, including Shogana, at some point her hand rests on your shoulder with both worry, concern, and a kind of halting smile at the same time. But now that you're back, dear, you plan on staying, correct? I told you, dealing with the world of these type, it's dangerous out there. Safer that you stay with your mother, don't you think?
The problem is, Mother, that we unleashed something that was dark, and it was our job to set it right. And we've been put on this path, and I think it's our job to set this right as well.
Teleran takes this moment. Shogana, it is not up to us to decide the fate of your daughter. However, I would offer an understanding of part of our belief in the Earth Mother. At times, balance is required. Has it occurred to you, Samara, that this is part of a balance that needs to take place? Is your involvement with the intent of participating in that balance, or undoing something that you believe has set off the balance that is being made? The Earth Mother is very specific about this.
Have you gained any insight in your communing with the Earth Mother? So many things here in the interior of the land are different from the coast. So many dark things are happening on the coast. I feel like there's something's going on, something dark and unnatural.
We are very far from these troubles. However, even some of these concerns have reached us as well and must be dealt with. We do have a separate conversation that will be required if you do plan on staying here. But darkness reveals light. Light penetrates darkness. The question is, as we've sought guidance from the Earth Mother to understand our involvement in what others have created or begun to participate in, are we fated or are we designed? These are the 2 points that we must discuss.
I agree. I feel my team has worked so hard and has had the best interests of our world at heart.
Well,
With leashing the monster, the undead Hydra, I feel like this team has shown that they want to set things right. And with this Tyrling, with this oh my gosh, I'm blanking. With this Zarel.
and with that, the war chief immediately jumps to his feet, looks directly at you, says, "Where did you speak and hear of this name?"
And I explain about Tyrling.
You begin to watch as Halloran puts her hand up on the war chief's arm and pulls him. Manners, husband. Manners.
Pulling it, Tobias.
And brings him back down. I am slightly intrigued as to why this creature would call herself such an abominable name. Do you believe her to speak truth? Because the warden to the gates of Avernus are not spoken lightly here.
Well, from what we know about Tira Ling, she didn't speak before she had the creature that calls
Possessing her.
themselves the Rel possessed her. She was mute. She was just an oracle, and a mute oracle.
And I'll say at some point you've explained your thought process on that. And the war
Yeah.
chief looks over at Taran. Whatever this Sholomon did to attempt to send the Tyrling creature back or provide a conduit while destroying it sounds like this island that can turn into creatures or make creatures itself.
I mean, it's kind of a fey being.
I'm not sure what all of this means, but bringing that horrific name into this tale. You watch as the war chief's massive Luxodon hand just kind of shakes and looks to the ground, and he just seems to be lost in thought. As my
Does he
other,
trumpet through his nose?
don't you trunk shame him? Yeah, you watch as he absentmindedly takes a chip with his trunk and dips it into the hummus and throws it into his mouth.
Well, and then if you know this name and you know how horrendous it is, you know how important it is that we stop it.
Yes, but I'm sorry, Taran looks at you. But you must understand. The time of the calamity and the understanding of the 9 betrayer gods and what the gods did to protect us from them from behind the celestial gates. There's always been a measure of balance in Exandria, and more importantly, in Wildmont as well. And that balance has always been based on those that stick to the will that was left behind. If Zarel is no longer under the guidance of the restrictions of a particular betrayer god, then if she has found a conduit to this existence, for the very first time in a very long time, a major player in a very old story is attempting to change the rules. And you watch as she finishes this statement, you watch as she reaches into her robe and she pulls out 2 massive hill giant bones with wards, glyphs, and runic writing all over them. And she tosses them out. Those of you that would be familiar with augury, you watch as she begins to do a very high-level augury incantation. She brings her hands in front.
Augury.
She puff of magical air, and she sits there, and she's lost in thought for barely a moment. And then she comes out of it, her eyes open. There's a warm breeze in you being here, but there's a cold wind in your leaving. I am concerned about this. But we need more information. And I would assume, and her eyes look over towards Albin, that is already being worked on. Albin, yes, it is. So, how long do we have until that information is brought to us? Well, you know who is in charge of that. And you watch as Luxodon just brings her stumpy hand up. Is it wise, Albin, to trust in that one? I think wisdom has very little to do with it. He's capable. So, a week, 2 weeks, A week, at best. Week and a half at most. Ah, good. Well, enjoy the encampment for the rest of the day. This evening, we will dine with the entire tribe. We have, well, Samara, we never did complete your induction into the Ivory Heart clan. I suspect this evening would be a good time to conclude that, if you are willing to take on the challenge.
Absolutely.
And you may invoke the Heart of Friendship and select 5 of your closest friends to partake in this with you.
They're right here. 5 of us.
I don't suppose Albin would be involved in this. Oh, no,
Oh,
ma'am.
Right, Albin.
I
Sorry,
know of the indoctrination. I would prefer Samar to take her 5 friends with her. I have no desire to go to that tower again. I've seen it. Good. Well, feel free to wander. You have been warded. You will, as long as you remain within the Luxodon camp, within the tribe of the Ivory Heart, you are protected from both scrying and incursion of eyes that are from other places.
Oh man, we should have brought the ship.
Do you say that out loud?
No. Yes.
Do you say it out loud?
I'm gonna roll. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes. 4, 5, 6. No. 6. Nope.
You internalize it. Keep it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody stands up. The war chief stands up. Eventually, Shogunna, Taran, and the counselors stand up as well. And they all, each of the Luxodon hug you freely. Again, Samar, good to have you back. Yes, it is good to have you back. Rest up. Gather your strength. You will need it this evening. And Shogunna kind of wraps you. Let's show you and your friends around a bit. We have quite an interesting group here. And all of you kind of make your way out of the giant tent and into the Ivory Heart clan kind of tribal setup. It's quite large, maybe 1,000 feet across. A very neat and tidy series of Bedouin-style encampment-like setups. Lean-to tents and pavilions, very much open and kind of interdispersed throughout the very fringes of the open area and the forest. Within this area, though, there are smatterings of trees that still kind of break up the monotony of the space. Everybody go ahead and give me perception checks, please.
12.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
14.
29.
22.
All right. Collectively as a group, give me 1 second. Let me pull this up because I thought I had it up and I did not.
Bias climbs up on your shoulder. Fire.
Okay.
Have you seen the size of their feet? I ain't gonna be down there on the ground.
That's probably a good idea.
They probably don't even see me. I'll get
They might.
crushed.
I mean, they're elephants. What if they're afraid of you?
I doubt
No,
it.
their ears are large. They
Nobody's
can hear you.
Nobody's
My
afraid of
God,
me.
you're racist, Fire. You're racist.
Look at their big crusty feet.
I don't think they're crusty.
Eventually, Shogunna kind of points and goes, your timing couldn't be better. One of the young upcoming merchants is here. His caravan was passing through on his way to Zadash. Very interesting young man. Would you like to meet him?
Wait, guys. We should probably make ourselves look like someone
And
else.
I'm gonna look like a hobbit.
I'm gonna make myself look like a different tabaxi.
Tiny Tom Cruise.
I'm getting feedback in your microphone, Sam.
It's me, sorry.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, goodness. Look at my ring. I'm gonna be someone else.
Can I just not be blue?
Fair enough. I mean,
like a
Shogunna
hurricane.
looks generally perplexed at what you're doing and watches some of you begin to change. And she's like, oh, no, you don't have to worry about, well, his name is Pumat Sol. He's a very decent individual. You do not have to worry about him. He keeps his trade in secret.
You're not trying to
Okay.
matchmake me, are you, Mom?
Oh,
Just nobody.
you're not a... No, of course not. He's a merchant. He's very young and trying to make his way in the world. And, well, you know, these are the ones that tend to be at the... Oh, he's very cute, though.
Mom,
I'm not gonna lie.
Mom, no. Mother, no.
But, okay.
He's cute.
But he's...
Yeah.
Ah, I get it.
If
She's,
he's
he's cute.
Some of the things that he sells are,
And he's
are
got
just
money.
very incredible.
How much money do I have?
He's a
Let's go see.
bit of an enchanter, a dealer of magical items, and sometimes has good understanding of information.
Okay, let's go see
All right,
what
let's
he's
go meet him.
So
Yeah,
as she
yeah. I
begins
still look like
Somebody's
someone else.
meant.
as she begins to lead you over there, you can hear a voice talking to a couple Luxodons. There's a series of wagons. There's maybe 3 or 4 of them, and all of the canopies are kind of open, and there's all manner of exotic wares, ceramics and glasses, small boxes, medium boxes. You can see hanging from the interior of these caravans, small different colored vials. You can see that basically he's utilized all of the different caravans as a way to travel with his goods, sell them. He does look surprisingly young. It's always hard to tell with furbogs. He's dressed very kind of simply in black vested attire, like leather pants that stop at his knees. He's got a pair of goggles up on his forehead, and he turns from the Loxodons to see the 7 of you now walking towards him, because Shogunna is currently with Samara as well. And he goes, well, look at what we have here. How much do you want for the little pet mouse? He's adorable.
Oh no, he's mine.
No.
Oh, he belongs to you, does he?
You're really making some points here for a merchant.
Oh my God, it talks. Oh, I'm really sorry,
yes.
little fella. I thought you were a pet. I mean, I thought maybe the clothes were so that when you performed, you collected coin. No, you don't.
No. No.
This is
Shogunna-
easy. This is
he
my
kills
favorite.
people really well,
Shogunna
though.
kind of like leans into Samara's ear. I told you, he's so cute. I bet he's gonna be
I'm gonna
rich
start
someday."
clapping.
Well,
Anyway, Mother.
well, what can I do for the likes of all of you? You look like you've seen some of the road a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you
yeah.
what do you have to offer? Can we take a look?
Oh, feel
Let's
free. Examine my
peruse.
wares. If anything kind of piques your interest, just ask old Pumat Soul here, and I'll be glad to help you.
Who but soul?
Pumat. You can tell who hasn't seen Critical Role.
I know, right?
Pumat.
One of my favorite characters of all time. If I could ever invent an NPC, I could only hope it would be that cool.
Who but soul? Okay.
Just out of curiosity, do I see any other merchants in the store, or is it just
It's
the
just-
one?
It's like
It-
a caravan.
It just appears to be Pumat. He has a couple of invisible servants that are kind of shifting to help like move things and recall things based on some of the other Luxodons that are kind of looking through his wares currently. The first wagon appears to be mostly made up of books, reading, writing, and magical component material. The second wagon appears to be made up mostly of alchemy, including potions and other items. The third of the 4 wagons appears to be made up of items, very like uniquely looking items, pendants, rings. You can see like swords, daggers, pieces of armor and shields and other things kind of in this wagon. And in the 4th wagon, you can see what looks to be mostly a hodgepodge of things. Very like nondescript baggage. You can see small, medium, and large encasements, small bits and bobs of like just little things that you might need, like rope, and some common, some looking kind of strange. And he goes, and over here, if you need any matter of understanding of the arcane, this wagon here. If you are interested in the go-go juice, you know, the little liquid things you drink to feel better, I got that right over here for you. But, you know, over here, if you, you know, are looking for a particular item of magical enchantments, I have some of those as well. And then, of course, all the things I'm either trying to figure out what they are and what they do are kind of in this wagon. I kind of make trades and find them on the way as I make my way through the Morrow Valley between here and Zadash. I hope to set up shop soon in Zadash, but I have not quite acquired the amount of coin in order to, you know, deal with the, well, anyways, what can I, well, do for you?
Do you have anything that would like make it harder for someone to like stab me?
Harder to stab you? Well, just get out of the way of the blade. I mean, wouldn't that
But
be
if I'm
the
like not fast enough, like let's just say I'm not fast enough, like
get
no,
faster? Train?
no, like tougher, like better armor.
Ah, you're looking for armor. Armor of like protection or armor of quickness or armor that might give you some advantage.
Yeah.
What
And to-
what
to
kind of armor would you
Fill
prefer?
my armor class.
I don't know what that is. You seem pretty classy to me, Blue Lady.
Yep. I'm not blue right now.
Oh, so you
Not
did continue the illusion?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not blue. I still have teal hair.
Yeah. Well, in that case, blue-haired lady, I'd be glad to show you some of my wares. Now here I've got. Well, is there a particular style of armor that you'd prefer to wear?
So I wear leathers.
I want to look at the armor too with her.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, aren't
I
you
love to
interesting?
I'd love to stick with leathers, but if you had like magical leathers that were,
Yeah,
were
she's
like
my
even
pet.
better.
I only have magical leathers. The question
Tell
of
me about them.
I have no idea how to. Fenra Evanbren, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm not really sure exactly. So, studded leather, highly crafted leather, simple leathers, light leathers, medium leathers. Is there
Studded leather.
studded leather? I do have some of those. But I mean, does a tabaxi really need to wear leathers? I mean, you're already wearing your fur.
I look good in leather.
I bet you do.
Well, that's what I'm wearing right now.
Oh, those leathers. Yes, definitely.
Tell me about your studded leather.
Well, I do have the studded leather of advantage. I also have a studded leather of protection +2. And I have this peculiar studded leather I've had some difficulty in unloading. It's called the Oinks studded leather. It's made from a particularly magically infused gemstone within the studs themselves. They do give you the ability to channel certain necrotic features through it. It's not one I particularly like to sell, but it is one of more and more interesting of my studded leathers.
Necrotic spell? I mean, how does that
Well,
work?
from what I've been able to identify through it, my understanding is that if you are struck by an opponent, you basically, the person who strikes you must make a DC 15 con save, and if they fail, they take 2d12 necrotic damage, and then I believe half of that is given back to you in hit points.
And how much is that one?
That is 3,200 gold.
Oof. Okay.
How much is the +2?
That is 1,500 gold.
And then you also said you had some
Studded leather of advantage. I do have some medium leathers, but for the most part, they are very simple +1 protections.
Okay.
I have a dagger of returning.
Ah, can I
Would
see
you
that
be-
for a moment?
Yes, I'm gonna pull it out. The dagger of returning.
Perhaps Ah, this is fine
Let me
craftsmanship.
whip this out.
Are you looking perhaps for trade?
Yes.
I could definitely trade the studded leather of advantage for this. I would require additional coin for the studded leather of the host.
I like the studded leather of the host. So how much would you knock off for the dagger of returning?
Give me a persuasion check, please.
Okay, I'm not very persuasive. I got a 13, and I have no pusses.
Well, I can knock off a few coin. I am trying to build a business after all. The dagger of returning, and 2,500 gold will get you the studded leather of the host.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
What's your price for your healing potions?
Ah, my healing potions. These are my favorite, because they can get you out of a jam anytime you find yourself in one. You watch as he flicks his hand, and one of the invisible servants carries over a handful. I have all manner of healing potions currently. I've been very fortunate in my acquisitions. I have a lesser, greater, superior. My superiors start at 3,000 gold, and then my greater are 1,500 gold, and my lesser are 750 gold. Now, these are traveling rates, as the things can be expensive trying to get them out here. As soon as I have my shop, I can assure you I am both conducting experiments and ways to make my costs more affordable, but I've not quite been able to achieve that yet. But I am, as they say, always trying.
Can I take one lesser, please?
Absolutely. Here you go.
Thank you, and I hand over the gold.
Okay.
How many of those everlasting crossbow bolts did we get?
We've got 24.
I'm gonna
24.
pull out my box of sanctuary. Would this be of any interest to you?
Oh my! I have only ever seen one of those before. May I?
Sanctuary again?
And
These
have you
Samuel's doing it.
invoked it and used it yet? Does it turn into the full campsite?
we've identified
Right.
it, but it has not been invoked yet.
Ah, well,
I thought we had.
Did we try it out?
I thought we had. But we might not have. I don't
because,
remember.
well, these are very valuable items. Are you sure you'd want to part with this? These are incredibly rare.
I don't know if we want to part with that one.
What's what?
I would
The box of
gladly,
sanctuary.
consider a 5,000 gold trade for this.
Ooh.
I know some military folk that would be very interested in this item. I could easily sell it.
I'm thinking we have other ways of protecting ourselves.
Yeah, we have the tiny hut.
Did 5,000? Yeah.
I prefer in trade if you'd like to trade.
No, I'm right. Yeah, no, I will.
Very well.
Okay, so
Hey, little mouse. Certainly there's something on here you'd like. Did you see these that I found in Trustenwald not too long ago? They're very cool. You watch as he takes some boots hanging off the caravan and he brings them over to you. How fast are you currently able to run, my mouse friend?
35 feet
Well, I
around.
currently have these boots of speed. I'd be more than happy to sell you.
Okay. Do you want to trade?
Do you have a trade? I'm always up for a trade. Finding people to trade is always simple.
I got a +2 sword of poisoning.
Oh, Well, isn't that just dark and mysterious? But if you'd be willing to trade, I would take that off your hands, plus an additional 1,000 gold for the boots of speed.
Oh, okay.
I have.
Yes.
You guys, I
let's
have.
see. Hang on a second. Oh yeah, Sam, pay the man. You owe me 8 grand.
Since when do I owe you 8 grand?
When I bought you that thing at Hollyhead, remember?
What
Which
thing?
thing?
You owe me 8 grand.
For the eye.
The eye.
The eye
No,
of...
I bought the eye.
I don't think you bought me anything.
I
No,
got
it was
right
a trade.
here.
It was a trade for that jewel that
Sam
could
owes me
make the-
8 grand. I wrote it down so
Yeah.
I know. Are you trying to Welsh on me?
Contract. It's
hey,
official.
Can I see this this note that you say
you
that
like
she
this
owes you
orange
8
juice?
grand? Is it written in crayons? Can I check?
I didn't sign a contract. All right, wait. So you bought the eye for 8
traded
grand?
it-
You
He
wanted it
traded
so
it for
bad. Yeah.
He traded it for that gem that was ready to accept a
Remember,
a
I
spell?
said the locket that
An
was
enchantment?
ready to accept an enchantment. It was 8 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she
am I
mysteriously
getting?
closed up her shop and it disappeared as soon as you guys
Yeah,
walked out.
her shop disappeared after the sale.
Well, I also bought the bags of holding.
Yes. You
Okay,
guys spent
okay,
a lot
wait,
of money at Hollyhead. Yeah.
How much money am I
did.
giving you?
8 grand.
Sorry, now I'm talking about for the sale. I don't have 8 grand.
Oh, you don't have 8 grand, huh? Oh, okay.
Someone
good.
hasn't
Guys-
been paying us.
Well,
I
if
have-
you
I
don't
have-
mind me saying, little lady, what, okay, that's a very interesting necklace. Where did you
Yeah, you
find
really
that?
should wear that under your shirt.
I thought it was.
It's all looking at him.
Well,
Um,
anyways, I have an eye for these things, and that was very cool.
Ha ha, good one. Hey,
Okay,
uh,
I have 4 potions of water breathing. We don't need them, right, Mara? Because
no, we don't need those.
We can cast, right? So I have 4 potions of water breathing. Would you like?
I would gladly take those off your hand for 500 gold apiece.
Nice.
Or
how about a
Four,
lightning
so
cannon
that's-
off an astral ship? How much do I get for one of those? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
A what?
That's it.
he did not say that.
Pumat
You
looks at
start
you and
charting
goes,
out the ship.
Pumat looks at you and goes, that Luxodon food, it plays tricks on the mind. You want to be careful of those mushrooms there, little furry fella.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pats
Hey.
you on the head.
I pull out my pistols and I go, got any like magic stones or magic, ammo for
Bullets?
these things?
Well, I
Or
mean,
any more of
technically,
these
I am
things?
a provider of magic, and my stones have been considered magical at times. But I'm assuming you're trying to look for a word that we call bullets for your
Yeah,
pistols.
bullets. Yeah, bullets.
I have.
I mean, I could put your stones in my pistols and fire them. We'll see what happens. But
well,
Nothing good.
I do.
ammo would be better.
I do tend to get a little silly after some of the wine, but I don't know about that silly there, little fella. But hey, that's okay. I do have some magical rounds that I can offer you. I've got rounds that burst into flame when you shoot them. I've got rounds that burst
All
into
of them.
lightning when you
What do you
shoot
got?
them. Oh, would you
Yeah.
like them all? I've got 100 rounds of each. I'd be glad to sell you.
And you got, let's see, where's it at? See, I wrote it down. Got any acid? Acid ones would be good too.
No, I
All
do
right,
not
100
have any
rounds.
magical acid bullets. Not entirely sure why you would need those, but
Just to watch someone's face melt after I shoot him in the head.
well, you're just terrifying, aren't you, little fella?
I got a particular person I want to use it on.
I hope it's not me.
No.
Oh, that's
No.
good. In that case, I will continue to call you little fella. But yes, 100 rounds of fire bullets and 100 rounds of lightning bullets. That'll be 12,000 gold, please.
Okay.
Guys, do we want the potions of invisibility?
That's a lot of money.
Well,
So what do I
very
get for the-
difficult magics to procure, and it's very difficult to make these things. Some I procure through trade. These particular babies here, I have recently acquired the ability of infusion and magical enchantments that allow me to do this. So I am able to do it. Unfortunately, the components and costs of these constructs, they can be difficult and pricey. I merely try to make a profit to recover my efforts.
So could I pay for information?
Well, certainly. What information are you looking for?
You're talking about the constructs and about learning how to infuse them. That's where I've been stuck. I have some things that I'm trying to infuse, but I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
May I see them for a moment, please? Yeah, you got to produce all the gearworks and the constructs, showing everything that you have. Well, my. I don't know anything about this one. But this one over here, well, I've got two of them. They're pretty cool. They're entertainment constructs. I did some trades for them in Rexentrum from a particularly interesting young elven woman there, or old. You know, elves are very difficult to understand how old they are. You can stare at them for hours and try to figure it out. I talked to this woman that goes by the name of Veer, and well, after about 2 or 3 hours of staring at her, which I guess she said was creepy, she had come over to talk to me, and she told me her age and where she was from, but elves are very... Oh, I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent there. What were we talking about? Oh, the construct. Oh, yeah, well, here you go. And you watch as he goes to the fourth wagon. Like I said, I was recently in Rexentrum, and he pulls down this medium-sized oaken box, sets it on the ground. And as you can see, and he kind of opens up the lid, and as he does so, 2 of these gearwork puppets pop out and land on either side. I use them for, well, my plan is to use them for entertainment and, attracting people to my new shop I plan on opening up in Zadash, and eventually I'd like to open up a shop in Rexentrum. I don't know if you've ever been to Rexentrum. It's a really big city. They sell lots of things there. There's lots of bars and things to do. Oh, sorry. Anyways, and then he reaches in, pulls out this metal smaller box, and he opens it, and it's about a dozen crystals inside of it. And he's holding the box, and he goes, "What would you like your puppet to do? Dance? Fly? Sing? I've been told these things can all do that. And for a small fee of enchantment and placing these gems in for you, I could certainly bring either one of these puppets alive for you. That should not be a problem at all."
How much to do that?
Well, it looks like each one of these has 3. So if you'd like, I could finish the construct of both puppets. I could, through your choice of what other gemstone infusions you'd like, the enchantment process, and all the effort of getting both these constructs up and running for you. These were not component costs to me. These were simple trades. I could get these up and running in about 3 days, and it'll cost you about 3,000 gold.
Okay. What if I were to combine the two? I'm looking mostly, and I'm going to point to the one that's not the one from the gentleman, the one that was more like servant-like. I'm looking to make this one fly, but I can use both together.
Yeah, I have to be honest with you. I was really hoping that you were going to pick the entertainment one. I've never really seen much of one like this before. There's something strange about its components. Some of its components are made of elements I have not seen before. I merely could assemble and put it back into existence. I mean, if you just wanted to focus on that one, I guess I could do that one for 1,500 gold for you. And I do have a fly crystal. I have a dance crystal. I have a movement crystal, a singing crystal. The singing crystal is really cool. Want to see? I've got one of the puppets over here that can actually sing for you. No?
No, I'm okay, thank you. I'm
Very
hoping
well.
that I could make it fly and have it be able to store a spell.
Make it fly? Store a spell would be a bit more costly. I don't, unfortunately, have one of the crystals for that, As I said, most
Okay.
of these I gotten from trade.
Well, let's just start with the fly then. We'll just start with the fly.
You have 3 component inserts here. You can do more than just
Yeah.
fly if you wanted to.
When it's flying, will it move around and follow my directions?
Well, yes. When I was speaking of the movement crystal, the movement crystal gives it more definition, more enhanced ability other than just simply moving vertical or horizontal in the immediate space.
Okay, let's add the movement crystal as well.
So movement, fly, what would you like to do for the 3rd?
What are the other options for it?
I have dance, I have sing. The movement one you already took. The fly one you've already took. And I have another one where it can make lights.
That's helpful.
I guess lights, yeah. I was
Very
hoping that I
well.
could get it to store a spell, but if I can't, then I guess I could use it as a distraction.
I will take this one from you. And come see me in about 3 days. I'll be here for at least another week or so, finishing my trades. There's some Lexidons coming back with some very interesting findings that I'm hoping to take a look at.
I'm rummaging around in my bag and I pull out a short sword of advantage. How about this one? Would you like this one?
I could give you 825 gold for that one, certainly.
825?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know that the eye that I got from the first mate of Captain Creed's first mate,
Not
One
the
in
Eye
the
of
bottle?
Scry.
huh?
Not the Eye of Scry, the one that was it was the female rat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. But that's not
Yeah, I
the
wanna-
scrying eye.
yeah, it is.
No, the scrying eye was in the bag from Fortuna.
You guys might be talking about the same thing, just from
It's
different
the same-
location.
Oh.
Thing, I think, because she stole the bag.
We don't want to sell the scrying eye. How much are the boots?
I mean, I'm looking at we got a
3,000
lot of
gold.
money in diamonds.
Yeah, but I have a lot of money in
$26,000 in.
I have a lot of
gold.
money
Dollars?
in money.
What are
I mean,
these
26,000
dollars that you speak
gold.
of, little
Oh,
fella?
come on, man, give me a break.
How much
Do
were
we
the
want to keep my my beholder's eye, or should we just get rid of it?
I don't know.
No, just keep it.
I don't want to sell the Eye of Scrying either. How much were the boots?
I'll have to use some of the diamonds. 'Cause
3,000.
the diamonds
The
are worth a lot
boots
of
are
money.
3,000 gold.
Okay, I'm gonna buy the
And I'm
boots.
trading him, but I'm trading him the +2 poison sword, and he wants 1,000 more gold.
Okay, so
yes,
the
if
poison
you-
sword.
The poison sword and 1,000 more gold will get you the boots.
I'll give
we'll
him
you
the 1,000
boots.
gold. I'll give him the
And
1,000
then-
gold.
I'll
And
give
then
him
the
the
magic-
gold because I apparently owe him 8 grand.
The
Okay.
magic bullets I need are 12 grand.
Oof,
12 grand? I don't have 12 grand.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe I'll
really
buy, like,
sorry, but they're
Split in the middle.
very expensive to make. I hope to get them refined better and figure out how to make them more affordable. But imp dust
gonna-
and lightning ash are not easy to come by.
I'm gonna pull out the orb of transmutation with the tiny vine creature in it.
Oh
And I'm
my!
gonna say,
What is
what
that?
do you make of this?
He kind of, may I?
Yes.
Pulls it away. He looks at it, looks at you. Well, I've got to tell you, I've never seen the likes of this before. It's not often that portal dimensional keys are ever found and just presented to me in such simple terms. Well, this changes everything a great deal. Perhaps with this, you could have just about anything you want on this fucking caravan. And that's where we're going to finish tonight, folks, because it's 10:06.
Come on.
Aw.
Just found something
Yeah.
good to trade.
As our
I have my
shopping
list
day.
all ready to go.
I
What
know.
was
I need to keep the orb with the tiny vine creature in it.
Oh,
That I have not been able to, out of character, not in game, that I have not been able to, figure out how to work.
Fair enough.
all
So
right.
everybody hang around for a second. We're going to see if anybody is up late tonight that we can raid.
Woohoo, rainy.
return the favor. But before we do that, as always, everything you need to know about us is down below. We will be taking tomorrow off. We'll be doing a rerun of The Descendants tomorrow, which is our alt 1920s. We do not have a one-shot this week. Sam, your microphone's squelchy. I'm pretty sure it's Sam. Yeah. We have our Friday Age of Arcanum game, and then we have Sunday Debtor's Gambit, and then Faerun Reborn on Monday. So be sure to check out our schedule, check out our Discord. We're still giving away dice and miniatures in our Discord weekly. We're also giving away a end of summer special, the Players Bundle, a redeemable key for D&D Beyond that will give you the Players Bundle, which I think is made up of like 3 or 4 books. I'll have to double check it. I'm not entirely sure. The Games Tavern is up and running. Let's go raid them and have some fun with those folks. They have some cool stuff going on there. Let's see here. I'm still getting used to doing this whole raid thing, so bear with me, folks. Let's help out some of our fellow creators.
Okay.
There we go. And as I always say, stay safe, stay kind, play a game. See you, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
So, Ivar, we can't